Mexico. Aides say the president intends to emphasize the benefits when the two political parties cooperate. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Twitter says it will scale back its 3-year-old ban on political ads. The latest change by Elon Musk as he tries to pump up revenue after purchasing the social media platform last year. The company says it's relaxing its policy for cause-based ads in the U.S., also says it plans to expand the political advertising it allows in the coming weeks. Twitter banned all political advertising in 2019. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday.
Welcome to it.
Yes. Hope you're having a delightful day so far.
Groove is in the heart.
Middle of the week.
Yep.
Weather's been kind of weird. Like
it's been very like
temperature-wise nice.
Yeah.
Windy, gets a little windy. It looked ominous when we left work yesterday.
Yeah.
And today is now it's supposed to be like 60 again, and I don't know. It's crazy bad.
It's a weird like whole. I don't know. It's not supposed to be like this right now.
Yeah, you know? It doesn't match.
Remember 7 years ago where we were coming off the heels of Goliath?
Yep.
It's like
I got all of those reminder pics last week. Of Goliath.
Everybody posting pictures of their shovels in the snow to show how deep it was.
Yeah. Saw a video. I guess my wife took me shoveling the driveway during that time. It's a long day.
Yeah.
I remember doing it in shifts.
This is back when I lived up north at what we call the farmhouse.
Yeah.
And to get to my house, you had to go down a certain road that eventually just became gravel and dirt. And you could not get any of our vehicles out of our driveway. So, and we were pretty low on like supplies and stuff. So I remember I literally rubber banded 2 grocery bags over each shoe and hoofed it from the farmhouse to Walmart.
Yeah, I remember.
I walked to Walmart to get
2 miles.
No, from my house, it's about from that place, it was about a half mile to the main street, and about another half mile, so about a mile.
Okay, it seemed longer to me.
It was doable, but it was miserable.
Well, a mile in, 2 feet of snow.
Uphill both ways with grocery bags over my shoes. And we had spaghetti that night.
That's right. With grape jelly, because that's all they had at the store.
Oh, dude, that was the other thing. It was bare, man. Especially like the meat section. I lucked out and got like 1 chub of ground beef, and that's why we had spaghetti, because that was all the options we had. Shelves were ripped up, and that's the scary thing. It's like you don't realize until a situation like that just how close to devastation we are in like an apocalypse situation.
Well, and that's just it. We really aren't. But people's mindset thinks we are. So they think we need to bare and strip the shelves bare of all things in case for some reason we're going to be holed up in our house for 3 months. Like, is that ever going to happen? Most you're going to be is in a week or so, right?
I feel like the safest place to hole up is going to be the Sam's Club because they've got all these survival buckets.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you're stuck in your home for a couple weeks, 3 or 4 rolls of toilet paper will be plenty.
Yeah, that's a roll, per person per day. That's plenty to eat.
I mean,
you take off the plies, and that's 2 meals.
Not every meal has to be, I don't know about y'all, but if I open my pantry, I've got things in there that if things were dire, we're like, all right, we can make some meals here.
Yep. You ever eaten hobo beans? That's a can of beans heated up on the stove in the can with the lid just ajar like this.
What's for dinner tonight? Black olives and fruit cocktail.
We're having hobo beans. Grab a spoon.
Hey, I watched like 12 seasons of The Walking Dead. We'll be just fine. Okay?
I love dinner that chews itself.
Yeah. Like 7-8 years later, they're eating cans of beans from, 7-8 years. We'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. I played enough Fallout to know that in the future, bottle caps will be our currency. So.
Yeah, it's because we have poor mental health skills. That's why we're all going to die, not because of lack of supply. It's because one person's going to take it all, and the rest of us are going to sit there,
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that's what was good.
My goal after the apocalypse, after they officially announced the apocalypse, folks, we're in apocalypse now. As soon as that happens, I'm gonna hoof it over to the person who I know who's got the most guns. That's my game plan.
Well, I'm hopefully gonna get on the early text list. That way I can get first at Walmart to steal all the toilet paper.
No, you're on enough boards. You feel like you should get the end.
That's right. It's another board I serve on.
Just throw a brother a warning text if you wouldn't mind.
Apocalypse board will meet Tuesday at 7.
That's right.
Oh, well, happy Wednesday, everybody.
Just forget about apocalypse.
Yeah, that's right. It's a new year.
That's right.
And a new you.
New year.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a bit, I think it's Andrea in the other room there. I just heard a voice, but I couldn't recognize the voice earlier. So I knew it wasn't Roy.
She slumped over in a chair,
and I knew it wasn't Roy. So I was like, "Is Roy working on his female voice?" But anyway,
yes, but it's not him.
Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce will join us here in just a few minutes. Give us an update, first of 2023.
Indeed.
Which, by the way, you need to do that now. So if you write your checks or whatever, don't. It's not 2, 3.
Dude, it's jumped in my way several times.
Yeah, I don't know. Like 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade, you could tell those papers that were from January of those years because you could always see the year was scratched out and then the new year's put on for like the first 3 weeks of January. Yeah. But anyway, in the 8 o'clock hour schedule, I'll have the folks in the Roswell Refuge join us, and if they make it, we'll get an update from them. And then in 9 o'clock hour, don't have a guest scheduled, so we're going to replay our interview we had with Robert Sherman from the Walker Aviation Museum. And we talk about they've done a bunch of additions to their website and got a bunch of stuff going on to tell you about. So we'll play that interview for you here in just a few, or in the 9 o'clock hour.
Indeed.
Plus, we'll have all of the features of the normal variety, like
local,
your news of local, national, Wall Street business, and everything else. Well, we got it all. So whether we play it, that's another thing.
Whether it works,
we have it available to us. Whether I get to it or not.
Pull back on the curtain. Everything happening on the other station is just it's going to be a fun day, folks.
Yeah, inside baseball, we got a one of our we have 4 stations, and one of our stations uses a different automation system, and they're doing updates.
Yeah.
Updates. Like the fine folks in Microsoft, but it's their company. And you know what happens every time Microsoft does an update. Well, they completely turned our system into some kind of Waterhead Brigade situation going on. And
they went, here, you deal with it.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's not my job. All right, 7:13. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Hopefully that guy's working.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we'll stay a little bit on the windy side today. That big low pressure system heading into California won't be bringing us any rain. We'll stay in the low 60s for the afternoon high. Wind occasionally kicking up to about 25 miles per hour, and we should get sunshine. Down to the low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then sunny and about 60 again on Thursday, warming up on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 33%. Winds currently out of the southwest at 8 miles per hour. Sunny today and a high of 61. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 20 miles per hour. See what I mean? It's nice, but weird. And it's not supposed to be like this. But then it looks ominous at times. It's weird. But sunny and 60 today. A little breezy, 10 to 20 mile an hour winds. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 31. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10. For your Thursday, mostly sunny, 63 for a high. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10. Thursday night, mostly cloudy. Overnight low of 35. South winds 5 at around 5 miles per hour. For Friday, 70s, baby. Mostly sunny, 71 for a high. Wear your shorts. First time in 2023. January the 8th or whatever the day is, 6th. I don't know. And then winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10. And then for the weekend, cooling back down, but not too crazy. Mostly sunny and 60 on Saturday. Sunny and also 60 on Sunday. So really not too bad. 60s with that Freak Show Friday 71 situation going on there. All right, it is 7:15. We're going to take a quick 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back on the other side. Andrew Moore from the Roswell Chamber will join us. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
When Rhonda was experiencing severe abdominal pain, she knew she could count on Artesia General Hospital's emergency department to provide critical care any time of day or night.
I didn't think twice about driving the 45 minutes from my home to Artesia's ER. I felt like I was their only patient. Excellent care from everyone, and I'm thankful beyond measure.
Each year, thousands of patients trust Artesia General Hospital with their health emergency. With specialty certifications in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma care, their emergency room physicians have the experience you need when every second counts. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect, and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
Happy holidays and a happy new year from the Plateau family to yours. Give your whole home the gift of ultimate connectivity in 2023. For a limited time, receive a free Visa gift card when you sign up for a True Fiber internet plan from Plateau. Up to $250 for new True Gig customers. With Plateau's True Fiber internet, get unbelievable speed for streaming, gaming, working from home, and so much more. And for a limited time, new customers get a free Visa gift card. Learn more and sign up now at plateautel.com. Offers valid only for new customers within Roswell Fiber Connected zones until January 16th, 2023.
When you get health insurance through BWellNM, more is definitely less. That's because when you get health insurance through BWellNM, you get more affordable health coverage from more name brand insurers with more plan choices for less money than ever before. And with BWellNM, you'll get more assistance shopping and enrolling for health insurance, which means less confusion and less time. And you'll finally worry less about your family's health and well-being and enjoy life more. Assistance from BWellNM is free, so visit BWellNM.com today and get more for less.
You can't hunt camels in Arizona, but you can buy them. They go for about $10 a pack. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Roswell, New Mexico Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore joining us in studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Happy New Year.
Happy 2023.
That's right.
How was New Year's at your house?
It was quiet.
Good.
I have officially crossed over to old people status.
Nice.
Welcome
to the club.
Right? At 10 o'clock, I was like, woohoo, Happy New Year's.
Right. Did you even make it to midnight?
No.
I made it to midnight. 12:01, I was out like a light.
Yeah,
but,
no.
I didn't even watch the ball drop or anything. I was just watching like Letterkenny or something like that.
Yeah, no.
We
went
was
to
like,
bed.
I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah, we went to bed. Now, the kids went out, of course.
They're kids,
and they
that's what
went
they
and did kid stuff. My son went to Carlsbad and hung out with his buddies down there.
Nice.
Gabby went and hung out with her boyfriend and his family. And then my daughter Grace went and hung out with her friends, but then called me at 1 o'clock in the morning and was like, okay, everybody's still awake and I'm really tired. Can you come get me? And I was like, yes, meet me at the door because I'm in my PJs.
Right. Well, good. Well, it sounds like everybody had a good time, and those who wanted to do something did something.
Absolutely.
And those who didn't.
Yes. Well, because we had just gotten back from our adventures from coming back from out of town. We went to Georgia to go see my husband's family.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic trip. Georgia's beautiful as always.
What part of Georgia?
1 hour south of Atlanta in LaGrange.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Was the weather pretty warm down there?
It was beautiful. Well, the first day we got there, it was cold.
Was it?
Because we were right behind that storm that blew through. So it was really, really cold. But then the rest of the time, it was gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really around that first of the year. Around that, it's like nice and 70, 75.
It was beautiful.
Georgia, Florida area is pretty nice, especially the southern part of Georgia. Yeah.
But our flight got delayed leaving Atlanta. So we missed our connection in Dallas, spent the night in Dallas. So we got home New Year's Eve instead of the day before. So, of course, we got home, took a nap, and then my kids all left. And I think that's part of the reason why my Grace was like, well, I'm kind of tired. I kind of want to come home.
To be honest, I'm impressed you made it till 10 o'clock after a year and all.
Well, I was looking up. I'm like, what is the first country to celebrate New Year's?
Yeah.
Okay, Happy New Year's. Yeah. And my kids were like, Mom, that's not flying. They're like, we can understand you celebrating New York time, but noon, no, that's not okay.
I remember when I was a teenager, and I've told this before, when I was in the Boy Scouts, I got to go to Australia, World Jamboree. Well, I was there December, January, so I was there for New Year's, Christmas, and all that.
Cool.
And so on New Year's, I remember calling my house, my family, and everything. And phone cards back then, but and travelers checks and phone cards, very weird. But anyway, and I called them, and it was New Year's Day in Australia. It was obviously because of the time zones and everything. It was still 20, whatever it had been 1987. It was still 1987.
Wow.
And where my parents are at, and I was in 1988. So I called from the future 1 year. 1 year, 87, 88, I called because I was in Australia, and I called back home.
That's how fun.
Yeah, it was cool. So, of course, new year.
Yes.
New, I'm sure, and of course means new things on the horizon for the Chamber of Commerce here. Now we're getting into 2023 with a lot of kind of the prospect of getting new opportunities and things for businesses and entities here to be a part.
Absolutely. So to recap real quickly, in 2022, the Roswell Chamber of Commerce fielded thousands of phone calls for tourism and people that wanted to move or were interested in moving to the area. So we fielded those calls and then made those relocation packets. And when we did our calculations, we filled out and mailed out just short of 1,000 relocation packets about the area.
That's a good sign.
Heck yeah. So it's been busy. We've got our brand new website that is running very well. We're getting brand new members that are able to sign up online and pay online.
Nice.
So just about every day we're checking, and there's something new in there. Please be checking our website, roswellnm.org.
And by the way, if you're a chamber member or potential chamber member, a lot of new resources available to you that, again, it's included as part of your membership as being a chamber member. So.
And if you don't know how something works, call us and let us know, because we're learning some of the new tools and stuff, and we can kind of help you out, give you tips, tricks on how to make it work better for you.
If you're a small business and a chamber member or would like to be one, marketing tools, things like that, stuff that you probably don't have the money to invest into, even though you should, because every business needs that kind of marketing and stuff. But I get it, especially new businesses,
Exactly.
You're trying to figure all that out. Well, take advantage of all the free advertising you can get. And with your chamber membership, that a lot of that's included.
Exactly.
In there, so.
And we are learning all about our MIC, which is the specific login for each member gets their own unique username and password to be able to log in to the system. They can go in and do anything from changing personnel and their contact information, so that way we know that we're all up to date and we can contact you when needed, all the way down to being able to post if you're hiring, if you've got a hot deal that's going on, whether you're a real estate agent or just somebody that's got a cool little knick-knack or widget, as I call everything, and say what's going on and be able to blast it out. We've got Facebook, we've got LinkedIn, we've got Instagram, in addition to our website, and we really are working hard at keeping everything up to date. We have our community calendar, where we are really doing a pretty good job of keeping that up to date and current. We've got everything on there from county commission and city council meetings and committee meetings to, the little concerts in the park or, First Fridays that the Main Street Roswell does, things like that we're always looking on other people's Facebook pages. We're looking through the newspaper. And of course, when our members contact us, that gets precedent and we put that on there. So please go check that out as well.
And then if you don't get them, which, as a chamber member, you get them. But if you currently don't get on a list and would like to, we get our email blasts at that every Friday.
Correct.
Usually Friday, yeah. We'll go out and kind of talk, and it's kind of a reminder, hey, all these things that are on the calendar, it's kind of a reminder, hey, don't forget these things are this weekend. Get on out there. Or these things are coming up next week. Get on out there.
Exactly.
So please reach out to the chamber, and that way you can get on that list. So every Friday you get that email with all of the happenings and things around
and we
town, too.
really are doing a good job of making sure that everything is linked appropriately. So, for example, if you want to go to the Spencer Theater and watch one of their wonderful shows for this season, you can see what's going on when it is, and you can click on it, and it will take you immediately to the appropriate page to be able to buy the tickets. And the same with any of the other events. If there's a city council meeting, you'll be able to go click on the city council meeting, and it'll take you directly to the page so you can look at the agenda if there's something you're interested in. County commission, school board, all of those things. We really are working hard to make sure that all of our links are working. So if you do happen to click on the calendar or something in our email and there's a broken link, let us know. Because sometimes it works on our end, and whatever happens in the universe when you hit send.
Android will take it, but Apple won't, and Microsoft likes it, but I get you.
So just let us know, and we'll make those changes. If you are a member, send us your information. We're happy to stick it in our weekly email.
Absolutely.
We try really hard to have that email go out around lunchtime. Sometimes we do get it out Thursday if for some reason we're not going to be in the office
holiday
on
or whatever,
Friday. But typically around lunchtime on Friday is when the weekly email goes out. And of course, we want to keep our calendar updated, which then brings me to Friday at 5 p.m. at the chamber. We're having an MIRP MERP meeting. It's fully informational. As of right now, the chamber does not have a stance, pro or con. We are reaching out to the community.
Remind folks, in case they're wondering what the MIRP is.
So the MIRP is the resolution that City Council has been talking about.
It's
and
been a hot
considering.
button issue right now.
It really has been, where developers can go in and develop an area, and there is up to, I believe it's $10,000 per lot up north, and then I think there's more money if you're a developer down south, so north of 2nd, south of 2nd, and this is supposed to help developers develop and build new homes.
Gotcha.
And so when they put in the infrastructure, the roads, the curbing, the sewer, all of that stuff, the resolution says that they will get up to a certain amount of money per lot once it is sold and occupied.
Gotcha.
And
so it's an incentive for them to set up shop.
It is built to be that way. I've gone to different committee meetings. I've gone to the city council meetings. And so there's been some back and forth on, is it really good? Is it not really good?
The devil's in the details.
And so I told city council, I've told the developers, I'm willing to have a meeting. Let's get the community in. Let's tell the community what this is, and then get the community's feedback and say, is this something that you guys are really for? Is it something that you're not for? And then
so this is really an informational meeting to kind of give you the intricacies and break it down, and let's weigh the pros, let's weigh the cons, and let's take a look at and put that out there, and then let people decide which direction they think our city should go in. And then of course let your city councilor know as such, and send him an email or professionally, of course, and tell him, hey, I went to the informational meeting on this, and based on what I saw, I'm for it or I'm against it.
Exactly. And it's a time for the community to ask their questions. We're going to have Kevin Mavers there to answer questions. I've reached out to the mayor, to the the interim city manager, a variety of city councilors. Now, of course, there can only be so many city councilors in one place.
Before
otherwise,
it's considered a quorum in a meeting and everything else. Yeah.
So we have.
Can we put them in booths and separate them and say they're
with their headphones?
They're all different rooms. They're in a different room.
And then, of course, we've reached out to some of the developers so we'll have both sides of the coin to be able to give that information. The city can give their information. I've reached out to the city attorney as well, so they can give the legal information.
Which is the part where probably most of the questions lie. Is what's our legalities here? What are we doing something that's going to get us in trouble down the road? What are we doing here?
Exactly. Yeah. How can we work? Is it able to work? Those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And then talk to the developers and see what they say as well. And then I will be more than happy to take that information to the next city council meeting, which is next week, and say, hey, on behalf of all of our members, on behalf of the community, I represent X amount of people that came to our meeting, and this is what they said.
Good deal. So again, the meeting is at the chamber this Friday,
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Do they need to RSVP or just come on out?
Well, we have limited seating,
Sure.
So RSVPing would be helpful to just make sure I have enough seats.
But if you space.
But if you space and you just show up at 5 p.m., and I understand it's Friday, we try not to have these types of meetings on Fridays, but
We're kind of behind the 8 ball here.
Well, and coming out of the holidays with Christmas and New Year's being right in between these particular two city council meetings,
Sure.
it really just didn't work any other day than Friday, because I wanted to have some time to digest this information before city council next week.
It's close enough where it's going to be still fresh in people's minds too. So that's it's actually might be a blessing in disguise in a little bit there. But 5 p.m. this Friday at the Roswell Chamber of Commerce.
Please
there on West 2nd Street.
131 West 2nd. You can't miss us. We have that huge alien mural on the side of our building. So come on down.
Yeah, come see the mural. Come see the facilities come out. Usually Usually she puts out a spread of drinks and
we've got
snacks
goodies.
and
I was
whatnot,
just
so.
going to say, Peppers will be catering some wonderful eats,
Nice.
and of course we'll have some beverages to be able to wash it all down. So please come and be a part of this. I'm excited to see what the community says.
I doubt they'll be serving alphabet soup, but if they do, it's pretty good.
There you go.
Because we had a historical society we had a generous donor basically take the board out for dinner one of our meetings.
That's wonderful.
And so we had a dinner / meeting at Peppers in December there, and the night we were there, I had the trout. It was really good, but they were offering the soup or salad, and everyone's like, "What's the soup?" It's like alphabet soup, and everyone's taking salad. So I looked around and said, "I ain't scared. Give me the soup."
There you go.
It was really good. So, but everyone was taking it. But I hadn't had alphabet soup in since I was a kid, probably.
Right.
It was tasty. It was good. Now, in all fairness, wasn't a lot of letters, but it was plenty of meat and stuff.
Well,
but
that's okay.
You weren't really trying to spell, so
Not like you are when you're 10.
Well, and then it may have been I just missed a few letters because maybe that's a D. Looks like a meatball. I don't know. I'm eating it.
There you go.
But anyway, great food at Pepper. So that
Yes.
if you need an incentive, they got really good
That's
food
right.
to come.
I am a firm believer. If I feed you, you will come.
Absolutely.
So I will feed you some nice little appetizers and then have a meeting. We're hoping for it to just be kind of an hour or so. However, if we will stay as long as people are interested in asking questions
Sure,
and
as
want
long
to
as the
get
conversation's
information.
relevant and respectful, obviously, then we'll keep it going as long as need to be.
That's right.
So, very good. But that's this Friday. If you would, RSVP, give the chamber heads up saying, hey, me and one other coming or whatever. But if you don't, no big deal.
That's right.
Show up 5 o'clock Friday. We'll get you
We'll
in.
be ready to go. We're excited. And then
Maybe a little less peppers.
right? And then, of course, legislative session is
right
getting
around the
ready.
corner, a couple weeks away.
2 weeks away.
Yeah.
Our new, she's not new, but our governor will be giving her State of the State address at the new legislative session. And we will start rolling out updates on a weekly basis and then daily as relevant when something big starts to come through.
Are they, just from the tea leaves you're reading here, are they going to treat this like a normal legislative session, or is it going to be like the COVID version where meetings and stuff are going to be?
It's probably going to be a little bit of both.
Okay.
Because there's still some people that
Because I know there's a lot of things meetings, visits, and things that you guys do during that legislative session. A lot of that got put on the kibosh the last couple of years because of COVID. I didn't know if they're starting to let that kind of thing happen again.
It's opening up a little bit more. So, for example, on January 23rd is the legislative reception.
Okay.
Leadership Roswell is going back to Santa Fe.
Yeah, first time in about 2-3 years now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we are so excited for Leadership Roswell to be going back to Santa Fe, which then means we as the chamber will have our booth at the legislative reception, which is the reception where we get to meet the legislators and talk to them about what's going on in our area, get feedback from them on what they see is happening up in Santa Fe. So if you are a community member with a business and you want to get your name and show Santa Fe and New Mexico who you are and what you do, and you've got items that you would like for us to pass out at the legislative reception, once again, give us a call, contact us, 575-623-5695. And let us know. I'm happy to go pick up items, or you can just bring them to the office because we will. We always have giveaways. We always have lots of really cool little things to give away up there during that particular time. Nimi, for example, has given us about 150 really cool backpacks that are stuffed with all kinds of really cool stuff.
Nice.
Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell campus has given us some stuff. And of course, other members have said, hey, contact us after the new year, which is now.
Hello.
Yay! And they will give us items to be able to pass out. So if you've got something that you want us to pass out and make sure that we're pushing your business, please contact us, and we are happy to take it up with us to Santa Fe.
Yeah, especially like maybe if you're a new business, maybe a business started within the last year and never had an opportunity to do something like this before. Get a chance to put different eyeballs on your product or at least your business, depending on what it is.
It's a great way to showcase who you are and what you do.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some red coats that are coming up, as well as some of our other faithful volunteers that have said, hey, we want to go up and help you out and enjoy that time. So please let us know whatever we can do, because Leadership Roswell will be up there the 23rd and 24th. It's a Monday and Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, January 23rd, 24th. Reception is January 23rd, that Monday. So we all leave out of town about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Another thing, this is if you wish to do so, with these legislative receptions and things, we get an opportunity to see not just our local representatives, but from other parts of the state as well too. And this is part of what the chamber does. So if you've got issues and things that are kind of you've talked to your representatives about, please let the chamber know so they can carry that message with them up to these meetings. So when they, obviously we're trying to promote Roswell and everything else, but when they have these legislators in front of them, you say, look, my constituents have been asking us about this. What are you guys doing about that?
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what the chamber does. And
that is my wheelhouse. I both love and want to strangle those people up at Santa Fe on a daily basis.
Sure.
But that's exactly my personal wheelhouse. I love and get a charge out of talking to our elected officials. So if there's anything that you want to make sure that I talk to somebody, because there is some downtime while Leadership Roswell is doing their tours and talking with the different elected people or going through, say, the Supreme Court or their tours, then I can break away and go make sure that I'm talking to the relevant people, whether it be a state representative, a state senator, or a particular department. If I need to make sure that I'm going to a specific department and saying, hey, this is something that our members, our community down in southeastern New Mexico are having an issue with. How can we work together and get this taken care of?
Absolutely, yeah. This is what the chamber does when it
absolutely.
This is part of the branch of the chamber. So, and this is part of why you become a member of being the chamber. So please, even if you're not a chamber member, reach out. But especially if you're a chamber member, and you've got some questions or just gee whiz curiosity, and let me face it, I know sometimes you get a chance with your own, and I know our local reps are very good about getting back with their but I understand sometimes you hit brick walls and things, and sometimes the chamber can with the connections the chamber has, can kind of maybe circumnavigate some of those brick
absolutely
walls.
And I'm happy, if there's somebody that really has an issue that needs to be taken care of and they are hitting a brick wall or they don't feel that they're getting the attention that they need, we at the chamber are definitely willing to help out in any way. And if that means, oh gosh darn, I have to go up to Santa Fe and go help, quote unquote, lobby. And you got to be careful with that word, because I'm not a lobby. We're not a lobbyist.
Sure.
So we're not constrained to certain things, but we can lobby and
because you have a group
behalf.
of people you represent.
Yes.
You do get the ear of our people, our legislators.
Absolutely.
That's just kind of an unwritten rule.
And New Mexico is a small town state. We have just shy of 2 million people in the entire state, so chances are you probably know somebody.
Exactly. you hit a rock around here,
or you know somebody that knows somebody, and if you can't get in, and I've learned in the last 2 decades being in New Mexico how to kind of work those channels.
Sure.
If I can't get to the guy, I know which channels to go to get to the guy.
And let's face it, a lot gets done with the schmoozing in this state.
Yeah.
Whether good, bad, and different, that's what happens. And, might as well put that to work for you.
Exactly. I'm happy and willing and able to do it on behalf of our community and our members. So anything that you guys need, let me know. MIRP meeting, 5 p.m. this Friday at the Chamber.
Yeah, put it on your calendars, RSVP. Please. But if, like I said, if Friday hits, you forget, and you're like, oh, that's tonight, go.
Yes, please show up.
We want to get as many people there informed. So, because at the end of the day, whatever decision they go with on this thing, the important thing is everyone does it with the most information possible when they make that decision. And that's what we want to do. We don't want a decision made and then, guess what we found out a little bit later, all the Pandora's box of what that decision meant.
And come ask the hard questions. Once you get the information on what it is, how it's supposed to work, ask the hard questions. Because like I said, we will have city representation from city staffers. There are some elected officials that will be there. We'll have developers there. So come in and ask all the hard questions. Ask the developers the hard questions. Ask the city the hard question. Ask your elected officials. Don't sugarcoat it. If you really have a concern,
this is the point of this is why these people ran for office.
That's right.
And they're there to represent you and to do the wishes of the people.
That's right.
But the people's responsibility is to educate themselves on these things. You want the ear of your representatives. Well, then at least be informed before you make your opinions.
Our representatives, whether it be city council, county commission, school board, at the state level or at the federal level, they are going to vote however they want to vote unless they hear from their constituents. Now, of course, the closer to home that you are, the more change that you as an individual can effect, because you're probably going to see that person. You're going to see that school board member, that city councilor, that county commissioner at a restaurant, at the grocery store, at football, at baseball, at dance. And so it's a little easier to get some of that stuff done versus you go to D.C. and you might never see that elected official.
They'll give
ever.
you a meeting just to say they gave you a meeting, and it's literally like, here, let me sign some stuff for you. And check out my cool desk. See you later.
Exactly. So come on in, please be informed. This is, like I said, this is the kind of stuff that just gets me charged up, and I just absolutely love. And my poor husband's like, oh my gosh, I have to go do this again.
And is this 30-day year?
This is a 60-day
This
year.
is long. I couldn't remember if last year was a 30 or 60.
Odd years are 60 days. Even years are 30 days.
So with a 60-day, that means there's going to be a lot more schmoozing.
Yes.
And it'll be quiet through January and February. And then about that last 30 days is when they start firing up.
It'll just start.
Yeah. But that first 30 days, it's usually a lot of schmoozing.
A lot of informational, a lot of committee meetings.
Yeah.
My goal is this year to be a lot better about getting those links to all of the committee meetings, to all of the open full sessions that are going on our website and social media, because it is kind of, a jaunt to go to Santa Fe, and not everybody wants to drive to Santa Fe like I do.
Yeah.
So we'll have those links. We will do our very best to get as many of the bills and stuff that are going on up in, and we have a perfect section on our website that's all about legislative news, and that's where you can start to see us posting those things.
And Mr. Nybert, Miss Candy Spencer, I'll be hitting you up here pretty soon to see if you guys will be willing to, once again, as they always seem to be willing to do, check in during the session from time to time to give us up to date on some of the big stuff that they're looking, they're working on. So we'll get that all lined up here. So matter of fact, I probably need to get on the blower and start getting that happening. So.
So we're excited. Lots of new things coming down the pipeline. But the biggest thing for this week is that MIRP meeting. Please, please, please show up. I mean, and if it ends up only being 5 people, well, then I guess it's 5 people that can give them hell, Harry.
And if you live in Roswell, it impacts you, whether you got a house or not, because this is going to impact property values to people coming to the area or not, or what. There's a lot in the balance with
and
this
it's your tax
decision,
money.
potentially.
It's your tax-paying dollars that you pay into the system that's going to be used, and you get to decide: is this something that you think is appropriate or not appropriate?
Yeah.
And do you want new houses? Do you not want new houses? I mean, there might be some guy out there that goes,
and I'm sure
we don't need houses.
And I'm sure you can make a list. There's going to be pros and cons of every decision. It's just which one's
there always is.
Which one's got the longer list of pros and which one's got the longer list of cons.
Yeah,
and that's what we got to determine. That's why you need to come out Friday at 5:00.
Yeah, I'm learning stuff on it all the time, and I like to think that I'm one of the more above average informed people in the community, just by nature, but then also because of my position, and I'm still learning all about it. And I'm definitely one of those weirdos. I go to every city council meeting, I go to every committee meeting, and I ask the questions, and I'm like, okay, I see this. What does this mean? I think it means,
right.
Am I right? And let me tell you, there have been more than once that I've seen something and they're like, no, that's not exactly, you're like half right.
Right, I gotcha. It's like you got this, but you missed this version.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense. But again, Friday, 5:00 at the chamber.
That's
Come on
right.
out.
And if you can call us, 575-623-5695, we'd greatly appreciate it. Otherwise, just show up.
Yeah. And then check out the chamber website and see see all the new tools and everything there. And get set up if you haven't done so.
That's right. Come be a member. It's the first, like you were saying earlier, it's the first part of a brand new year.
Yeah.
What a great time to come and be a member of the chamber.
Absolutely.
And we're going to show you how awesome you can be, because we're going to help you be awesome.
And the more help you have in your corner and making your business successful, the more you're going to want that.
Absolutely.
I've never said, you know what, I've got enough help here. I could use more.
That's right.
No one's ever said I don't need any more help. Rarely, especially for startups. So.
That's right.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
We'll let you tackle the pile of stuff waiting for you at the office.
That's
there.
right.
So, and we'll see you here in a couple weeks.
All right. Thank you.
Happy 23.
Happy 23.
We'll see how much older we look in 2 weeks.
There you go.
All right. It is 7:50. Let's get you up to date with the weather. Kim Commando, sports, and an ad or two for fun. Don't go away. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Department of Health's medical cannabis program announcing anxiety disorder is now added to the program's list of qualifying conditions for enrollment. A petition requesting anxiety disorder be added as a qualifying condition was submitted for consideration at the board's meeting earlier in 2022. The board, sure enough, voted unanimously to support the recommendation. Anxiety disorder is the first new qualifying condition added since the middle of 2019. Meanwhile, the city of Roswell is considering 2 more marijuana retail shop locations. Both sites have received initial approval for their permits. The first involves the construction of a UFO-shaped building called Hangar 84 at 3500 South Main Street. The second site is proposed for 737 North Main Street. That's the old A&W restaurant. That company also operates a large growing business out on East Hobson Road. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
On Sunday morning, January 1st, the state of Louisiana launched a new battle against an old foe. To view internet pornography in Louisiana, you must prove your age. I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by CarShield. Protect your car from expensive repairs. Visit carshield.com/Kim and save 10%. Deductible may apply. Most people are unaware that in most states, porn is illegal. Louisiana's new law says that any company running a website that intentionally distributes material harmful to minors, that is, if the website material is more than 33 1/3% harmful, in this case porn, it must confirm the age of each viewer. A driver's license works. So far, the only porn site complying is called Pornhub, and it's one out of millions. But what exactly is pornographic? U.S. Congressman Mike Lee from Utah introduced a bill called the Interstate Obscenity Definition Act to define what is porn. The last time this battle was fought was during the Reagan years, and this will be one to watch. Try my new daily podcast called Kim Commando Today. You probably already know that there are data brokers out there selling your internet data off to companies that serve you targeted ads. But you might be surprised to learn that they're also selling your information to the Department of Homeland Security and the IRS. That's why, to mask my digital footprints, I use ExpressVPN. One of the easiest ways for brokers to aggregate data and tie it back to you is through your device's unique IP address. When you're connected to ExpressVPN, your IP address is hidden, making it much more difficult for data brokers to identify who you are. ExpressVPN also encrypts 100% of network traffic to keep your data safe from hackers on public Wi-Fi. That's why I have ExpressVPN on all my devices, my phone, computer, and even my home Wi-Fi router. Just one tap and I'm protected. It's that easy. Visit expressvpn.com/Kim right now and get 3 extra months free through my special link. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we'll stay a little bit on the windy side today. That big low pressure system heading into California won't be bringing us any rain. We'll stay in the low 60s for the afternoon high. Wind occasionally kicking up to about 25 miles per hour, and we should get sunshine. Down to the low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then sunny and about 60 again on Thursday, warming up on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hey, New Mexico. Experiencing issues keeping your office technology up to date with these crazy supply chain issues? Well, DSI is here to help. We've diversified our products and solutions to help your business not just survive, but thrive in any situation. Have your teams collaborate and share with high-def video walls and interactive smart panels. With free unlimited support, the fear of any new technology is a thing of the past. Contact DSI today to upgrade your workspace. www.dsinm.com.
Hey, we're still backtracking a little bit of telling you about the all-state selections for football, just in case there's a lull in the schedule or scores aren't reported. But this morning, we would like to congratulate the guys that were selected all-state in Class 3A from our area. Dexter had a lot, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that were selected as honorable mention. Most of them were underclassmen. Tanner Briscoe, though, was a senior pick at defensive end. Yarim Delgado, sophomore pick on the defensive line. Diego Munoz, sophomore inside linebacker. Hector Ramirez, freshman offensive line. Kane George, a sophomore running back. And Omar Loya, picked as a sophomore wide receiver, all-state for Class 3A. And a couple guys from NMMI. Juan Badillo is senior quarterback, and Gabriel Richardson, junior offensive lineman. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Fallen cryptocurrency executive Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on Tuesday as a federal judge fast-tracked his trial date for October the 2nd. The disgraced FTX founder claims that his parents, Stanford University law professors Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried, have become the target of intense media scrutiny, harassment, and threats. Southwest Airlines is being sued by a passenger who said it failed to provide refunds to passengers stranded when an operational meltdown led the carrier to cancel more than 15,000 flights late last month. In a proposed class action filed December 30th in New Orleans, a passenger accused Southwest of breach of contract after a fierce winter storm that swept across the United States. U.S. construction spending unexpectedly rebounded in November, lifted by gains in non-residential structures, but single-family home building continued to be hammered by higher mortgage rates. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Happy holidays and a happy new year from the Plateau family to yours. Give your whole home the gift of ultimate connectivity in 2023. For a limited time, receive a free Visa gift card when you sign up for a True Fiber internet plan from Plateau. Up to $250 for new True Gig customers. With Plateau's True Fiber internet, get unbelievable speed for streaming, gaming, working from home, and so much more. And for a limited time, new customers get a free Visa gift card. Learn more and sign up now at plateautel.com. Offers valid only for new customers within Roswell Fiber connected zones until January 16, 2023.
So you think drinking alcohol can't hurt you? It'll mess you up big time. Say adios to large chunks of your brain. Major damage is already being done. Other parts of your body are getting wrecked too. Forget about sports, forget about school, forget about doing much of anything. Underage drinking freaks out your body, messes up your life.
Sponsored by the NMDOT.
The inventor of Pringles is buried in a Pringles can. I wonder if they got their hands stuck putting him in there. Here's Mike Winters.
And it is 7:58. Good morning. Stay tuned next hour. We're scheduled to have the folks from the Roswell Refuge join us, so we'll chit-chat with them and talk about how their 2023 is starting here. We are in a new year, in case you haven't been told yet. Vitalant has a bevy, a cornucopia, if you will, of blood drives coming up in the month of January. Your first opportunity to donate in 2023 is today here in Roswell. They're going to be at the Vitalant office from noon until 4 p.m. And everyone that donates blood today will receive a $10 gift card promo. It's also part of their T-shirt promo. Donors will receive one $10 Amazon gift card on the those days for the promotion there. So if you need a little extra incentive, you shouldn't, because you're really giving the gift of life. But if you just want that, like, okay, well, if I donate today, I'll get an extra $10 Amazon gift card. Why not? Take advantage of it. Put it towards something nice, or get something. They buy a lot of things for $10 on Amazon. But anyway, call this number if you'd like to schedule an appointment for today's blood drive. 575-840-8178. Again, 575-840-8178. And again, it's going to be at the Vitalant office, number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza here in Roswell today from noon to 4. Call to get an appointment, 575-840-8178. They're going to be in Artesia next Wednesday, January 11th at Hotel Artesia. And then they'll be back in Roswell here on the 12th. At the Vitalant office then. So if you can't make it today, those are your next 2 opportunities. All right, it is closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News is up next. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico. We'll be back. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The third time, not the charm for the congressman who really wants to be the next House Speaker.
Madam Clerk, I rise to nominate Kevin McCarthy for the position of Speaker of the House.
But after several rounds of voting, the California Republican failed to secure the 218 votes needed. The House adjourned, reconvened in a couple of hours. We'll see then if Republicans have come up with a way forward. Florida's popular Republican Governor Ron DeSantis sworn in for a second term.
DeSantis sounded like a 2024 presidential candidate, talking about the Biden administration's immigration policy.
It has recklessly facilitated open border.
On the economy,
the federal government has gone on an inflationary spending binge that has left our nation weaker.
DeSantis has built a national image as a conservative, blasting woke ideology.
We will not allow reality, facts, and truth to become optional.
I'm Ed Donahue.
The sanctuaries are turning on themselves.
Democrat governor of the sanctuary state of Colorado is now busing illegal immigrants to New York City as soon as they enter a state. The move by Colorado Governor Jared Polis appears to be the first time a sanctuary jurisdiction has sent illegal immigrants to another sanctuary location. According to Politico, the governor says they're simply helping illegal immigrants reach their final destination, which happens to be New York City. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Accused of the November killings of 4 University of Idaho students, Brian Kohberger has agreed to be extradited from Pennsylvania, where he was arrested last week to face charges in Idaho. 28-year-old to be transported to Idaho within 10 days. The NFL and its fans rallying in support of Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. He remains in critical condition at a Cincinnati hospital after suffering cardiac arrest on the field Monday night. Wall Street, the Dow up 75 points, and NASDAQ ahead 22. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon 2 factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. pushing for closer economic ties and a visit to China. It seeks to sidestep territorial disputes in the South China Sea.
The countries have both been rocked by economic crises linked to the COVID-19 pandemic. However, they are looking to recharge investments in bridges and other projects, along with tourism and agriculture. The visit comes against the background of disputes over islands and waters in the strategic South China Sea.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The U.S. Embassy in Cuba reopening visa and consular services. First time it has done so since a spate of unexplained health incidents among diplomatic staffers in 2017 and sharply reduced the American presence in Havana. The embassy confirms it will begin processing immigrant visas with a priority placed on permits to reunite Cubans with family in the U.S. The resumption comes amid the greatest migratory flight from Cuba in decades. Townhall.com. An Oregon judge continues the freeze on part of a new voter-approved gun control measure.
That law requires a completed criminal background check before a gun can be sold or transferred. Harney County Judge Robert S. Raccio previously put the new law on hold, including a permit to purchase provision and a ban on high-capacity magazines. On December 23rd, he considered allowing the law's background check provision to proceed. Under federal law, firearms dealers can sell guns without a completed background check if the check takes longer than 3 business days, a practice Oregon's new law would end. Keith Peters reporting.
Digital tattoos, inline skates that are electric, and an AI-connected bird feeder. These are among the latest products being shown off by tech companies at CES, once known as a consumer electronics show, trying to get back to normal following the pandemic. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. Inside baseball there, but oh, so good. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday.
Lemon on a pear day, folks.
That's right.
We're halfway there.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
Lemon on a pear.
Happy middle of the week. Hope all of you are doing well. Doing good.
Doing well and feeling swell.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, there's a lot of time to turn it around. So
that's right.
Glass half full.
Going on day, the 4th, right?
It is.
Going on day number 4. Nicotine free.
Good for you.
Yep.
4 days.
Yes,
Any,
sir.
How's the cravings, temptations?
Really, honestly, I don't have any cravings for it. I get real bored. Like, I don't know what to do with my hands, you know?
That's why a lot of smokers gain a bunch of weight, because they usually
go snack.
Yeah.
I didn't really snack much last night. I just...
You want these? Will that help?
No, I'm good.
I just did a toothpick.
Yeah. There's I'm good. I'll
fix his, fingers and...
Yeah.
You know.
And I figured out that I can successfully be around people who do, and not really, be like, give me that.
Well, I hope it stays that way. I hope this time next week you still feel that way. I hope so. So good deal. Well, glad to hear it.
Thanks, so.
Yeah, good for and what you don't realize, it's even more impressive. He's got his kids this week. So,
dude, yeah, and they haven't died. They have not even close to died.
So he
that's you know what, that actually might be a saving grace because I've been distracted by my kids. Next week might be a challenge.
Fair point.
I'm going to need to find things to fill my day.
Fair point. Because to be honest, when I was in basic training, I smoked cigarettes back then. In basic, and your first roughly month of tech school, you can't smoke. You can't smoke in basic training. Despite, if you watch old war films, they let them smoke there, but they haven't let them do that.
Back then, they put a pack of cigarettes in your MRE.
Yeah, I don't think they haven't let people smoke in basic since like the 80s. But anyway, I remember, that I went 6 weeks, so about 12 weeks of time where I did not smoke. And it was not hard until I got to tech school. Basic training, I didn't have time to care. I was more worried about not getting yelled at, not having to do all the garbage they make you do in basic and all. So, quite frankly, I never had a craving. I got to tech school first week or so, still was okay. But then once I started seeing other people and having free time where I could sit on a cement concrete pad and hang out with people, and the first thing I'm like, I'd like a cigarette. And so I went back after the 12 weeks. I probably shouldn't have. I probably was like, look, I got the withdrawals out. I mean, I should, but I was so eager to do something that was back to civilian life-like that, you know what I mean? It's like, ooh, I put on a pair of jeans again. Ooh, I can have a cigarette. And now, hindsight, I'm like, what an idiot. But
you're like, I was across the finish line.
Yeah. But back then, it was a welcome friend. So I understand what you're saying. So good luck next week. Hopefully, well, if you want, I can load you down with a bunch of work to keep you busy.
Oh, thanks. Man. No, I'm thinking just like a pen. You know? But your way works too. Just need something to keep my hands busy.
By the way, other factoid number 2 from basic training. Pardon the pun. No number 2s for like the first 3 weeks of basic training. Not because I couldn't. They wouldn't let me. I just it wasn't.
You were backed up.
We were it wasn't just me. It was the entire flight. Nobody went for like the first week or 2 at all.
Was it?
I think it's nerves. It's your body's. I'm not saying in a fight or flight mode, but
sure,
stress levels, everything
do you have individual bathroom stalls?
Yeah.
Or was it like team latrine?
No. They had closing door stalls and things. You weren't allowed to use all but like 2 of them, but because that was our own rules. Because of the latrine queen makes the rules on who uses what toilets and when and where and there's usually a row of like a 10 or so toilets. Sure. But because of inspections and cleaning and everything, you're like, don't mess with these first 6. You got to poo in these 2. And same thing with the urinals. And by the way, you can use the toilets to do the number 1s, but you had to be on your knees.
Oh,
because we didn't want splashing.
Right.
So it was a very.
Could you just sit to number 1?
You could.
Okay.
And some did that. And to be honest,
was there ridicule?
After about 3 weeks, when things started to lighten up a little bit, then it turned into Toilet City, and everybody started going.
I would have much more success sitting down to pee than I would kneeling on my knees to
number
pee.
1s, you take 1,000,000 of those because they make you drink so much water. You had to drink 4 glasses. I think it's changed now because some kid drowned or something.
Water intoxication.
Yeah. But anyway,
some kid drowned.
Sorry.
Yeah, it got dark.
I know. I was in the military. I have that sense of humor.
Fair enough.
Well, I know in today's world, the mindset was you got your butt kicked by a glass of water, you're a real manly man.
No,
aren't you?
I understand.
I know,
Dude, I lived through Hold Your Wee for a wee.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the business when that went down. So
Now, get me wrong, no judgment, because yes, they literally make you drink so much water that I could see how it happens if you're not, doing something, whatever. But anyway, I think it was just nerves and just stress and just the whole environment where no one went to the bathroom. Your priorities shifted, and then once people got comfortable and got into the routine and kind of were finding their way,
sure,
that's when the toilets started getting utilized again, and they were utilized at mass. You want to know what's really gross? I ain't proud of this one. No one took like a shower. Like the first day they took a shower. Like when you get up the next morning, they yell at you. Everyone took a shower because that's, and that's when you learned you don't. And then I don't think anybody took a shower for like the next 2 weeks. Because they didn't want to dirty nothing.
Sure.
And then finally, I think a drill instructor, someone said, get your funky butts in there and wash because you're grown men been doing dirty stuff and you smell like
I'm saying that's hard labor.
Yeah.
You're not just sitting around, tooling with mechanics.
That's what I'm saying. It's embarrassing, but that's how we got through, and yeah, so we did. No one bathed for like the first week or two. That first week or two was a hot mess. It was just, but it was like I rolled into basic about 10 o'clock at night, and it was literally the bus thing. Like you all see movies where the drill instructor, the TI in this case, gets on the bus and starts yelling at you maggots, get on the bus, that whole nine, and we did it. And then they take us out onto the drill pad, and we all stand at attention in formation with our bags, all of our bags in our, I think they have them in our right hand for some reason.
Okay.
I don't know why.
That's your salute hand.
Yeah, but we were carrying it in our right hand. And we said, all right. Oh, I'm sorry. I just happened to have mine in my right hand. It didn't really matter. They kept saying, all right, put down your bag. And people put the bag down. If it made noise, if you dropped it, pick it up. They wanted you to place your bag with zero silence. And we spent about 20 minutes picking up, putting them down. Pick them up, put them down, pick them up. And then after 20, 30 minutes of pick them up, put them down, they usher us into the barracks. And they basically say, nose, that locker. And they Blair Witch us and put every person's nose on a locker. And that's your living space. Now this is your hole. And they do. And then they kind of let us settle. And we go to bed, like within 20 minutes of all that. And then they get us up at around 3 or 4. Or maybe it was 2. It was 2 a.m.
Oof.
It was early. And then it was the 2 a.m. wake up with the trash can beating through it. Yeah, the whole nine. And they made us get ready. And they had us, this was the day they're teaching us how to get ready in the morning. And they're like, go to the tree. And you better shave. I don't want to see no 5 o'clock shadows. It looked like a murder scene on the mirrors and sinks. There's like 10 sinks or whatever lined up. And the amount of blood from shaving just, it looked like a murder scene because they're shaving fast and it was a hot mess.
With terrible razors.
It was just, and of course, we didn't do it right, so they make us do it over again. And then we finally go to breakfast.
Glue the hair back on your face.
Yeah, and then we finally go to breakfast, and they teach us the ways of eating chow in the chow hall. And you do it. It's a whole rigmarole. You just don't roll up in there and eat your food and roll out. You got a position of attention. Airmen be seated, drink your whole 4 glasses, and got to cross the snake pit and all that. You learn all that.
You have to drink 4 glasses of water before you can start eating?
Correct.
Wow. Wow.
You're allowed to get milk or sodas or whatever you want.
But you have to drink your 4 glasses first.
4 glasses of water. So I rarely got. Once in a while, I'm like, towards the end, I got milk and soda every once in a while. But no, it was that. And your canteen never had an empty canteen. Anyway, so then after that, then we start going through the in-processing, and they shave your head, and, you're no longer a rainbow. They give you your uniforms and all that. That's what they kind of call you that first day or two, is a rainbow.
Right.
No guest here, I take it, right?
No, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I just want to be good before I start getting windbaggy again. Continue windbaggy, I'm sorry. So, but then, like, that second day maybe, because we kept getting the morning, and I think everyone does, because they want you to do it a certain way.
What time was normal reveille? Like 6?
No.
5:30?
It was either, some days it was 4, some days it was 5. Depending, and then towards the end, we got a few 6s.
Okay.
But, yeah, usually 4 to 5 in the mornings when they got us up.
That makes sense.
On average. And depending on your night, you don't sleep that whole time.
Yeah.
Well, like if you have to serve as dorm guard, and they work in 2-hour shifts, and 24/7, someone's dorm guard. So sometimes you had to do dorm guard, so they wake you up at midnight, and you have to do dorm guard duty for midnight to 2.
Oh.
Then you go back to bed and get up at 4 in the morning or whatever. Or if you were that unlucky one that your shift started at 2, and about the time you wake up, it's when the drill, and you didn't want that shift because that's when the drill instructors show up, and if there's any time for them going to mess with you, that's a peak opportunity to mess with you. But anyway, so they spent one day, like day 2 of basic, training us how they want the barracks set up, how they want all of that. And so they literally did stuff like they made us go to bed. We had to do everything was called a night display, and where you had to set up your uniform basically for the next day, where you had your shirt, pants, everything laid out, boots a certain way. And the idea is when they start beating the drums to get up, you jump out of bed and you get dressed, and you can do it quickly. So they wanted they got a certain way they want you to do it. They want your shoes set a certain way, the whole nine. And so they're teaching you how to do that, but they're yelling at you. And so what they do is we basically did morning duties all day that day.
Right.
We would get in.
Where it again? I've seen it.
But this is what happened. This is how they did it. And this is what you're like, oh, man. So they put us in bed. Go into bed. Lights out, ladies. Turn off the lights. They'd leave us 15, 20 minutes. Enough to where you're like, because you've been, you know what I mean? It's enough where you start falling asleep because you're sitting there doing nothing for the first time in days. And then they start and so they literally get you to a point where you're groggy again, and then they do it, and then you're like, oh, you did that too long. Do it again. And then once we got that down to where it was something they satisfied with, they were like, I smell smoke. Fire drill. They'd send us out. We'd all have to go to the pad. While we're out there, the drill instructors are trashing the dorm.
I've actually seen this happen before.
Trashing the dorm. And and then they're like, oh, it looks like you guys had an accident. I want this an inspection order in 15 minutes. Knowing full well we can't do it in 15 minutes.
Sure.
And so when we couldn't do it, then I smell gas. They're like, oh no. Here we go again.
Good night, dude.
And so we did that all day long, getting in bed, doing that, and that was like those first couple days of all. So you really don't have time to worry about cigarettes or pooing.
Sure.
Because you're so busy.
Makes sense. You know what I could use right now is smoking a BM.
And a cheesesteak.
like a nice chopstick.
One of the things that you won't realize is the biggest reward on the planet until you've not had that for a while is there at the barracks. There's an area where it was a reward place for you. It was actually the laundry room where they did laundry, but attached to the laundry room was this pad area that had picnic tables and telephones and vending machines with Cokes and candy.
Oh, wow.
And snack foods. The second day, you go to this pad, not to indulge in the pleasures of the candy.
Sure.
But to one, show you it exists just to mess with you.
Mhm.
But so you can get on the phones, call your mom and dad and say, "Hi, Mom and Dad, I'm okay. If you need to contact me, here is the mailing address. Write this down." And you could not veer from the script. If your parents are like, "Oh, let's do it," fine, Mom, fine, Dad, I've got to read this. You could not show emotion. Wow. You could not, do anything other than read off
Hi,
the script.
Mom. Hi, Dad. They've destroyed my soul, just so you know.
Yeah, read
it's
the script.
day 2.
And then hang up. And that was the move. And so you see this pad of which they speak, so you know it's there, but you don't get to see it.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want to make a movie about Mike's military stories.
Well, this is basically like, with the exception of the I Smell Smoke story, this is basically Full Metal Jacket. Like I've
a little, but nicer. It's not quite Full Metal Jacket. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You didn't have like Arlie Ermy screaming at you.
Yeah. And
this is good stuff.
Well, this is exactly what happened. I mean, Air Force is different than Army, and we still do physical things. Don't get me wrong; they'll make you run, they make you do all, but not to the extent of the Army and the Marines. And and now I don't know. This was in the '90s. I'm sure with the woke culture and everything I'm talking about is probably completely different now in military because
I don't know. I think that the military's managed to kind of
the way the drill instructors interact with you are completely different. They'll yell, but they won't say the things that they said to us because they will get in trouble now. They can't use the terms that they called us.
I watched a TikTok where a guy walked up to his sergeant and said, "Sup, Sarge?" And he goes, I think the guy turned to him and he says, "I don't believe, or I don't think so," or the way he said it was very specific. Like, "I don't believe that ever is going to happen." And the guy said something to the effect of, "As I was, good morning, Sarge," Sergeant, and addressed him respectfully.
Well, and here's how, because they're teaching you how to report to higher ranking officers, an officer or anything like that. So, and I think I've told you this story, but whenever I had to address a drill instructor, if a drill instructor asks you a question, or if you have to give a statement you have to give a reporting statement to the drill instructor. And this is only in basic. And so the drill instructor comes up and says, "Airman, why is your collar crooked?" And so I'd have to say, "Sir, Airman Winters reports as ordered." And then tell him, "Sorry, sir, it messed it up." And then you can keep having a conversation with them. Now, this is where the rules get weird. Say a second drill instructor comes up to you and asks another question while you're talking to that one. Now, you've got a report statement to that one. So say the drill instructor said, "What's wrong with your collar?" And you do your reportment statement. "Sorry, sir, I failed to whatever." And then the other instructor comes in and says, "Well, what's wrong with you, Airman?" You got to look at him, "Sir, Airman Winters reports
it's
his
a real
order."
Simon Says situation.
And then you're like, "I don't know, sir." And then if he asks you another question, you can talk. But if the other instructor asks another, now it's a new conversation.
Every single time they would, and I'm sure they would checkerboard back and forth.
And they
just
do
to mess
this,
with you
yes,
guys.
exactly. They do this to get you
To
off
break
kilter.
your soul, absolutely.
And so, and you screw up at some point, especially early. You get good at But speaking of chow hall and all that, they had a table called the Snake Pit. This is where the drill instructors ate lunch in the chow hall. And regardless of what side of the chow hall you were going to, you had to pass the Snake Pit. And if you're lucky, they're engrossed in a conversation and they don't want nothing to do with you, and you walk by and then you go about your lunch or breakfast or whatever. Every once in a while, and I'd say 1 in 4, you're going to be like, "Airman!" You start going and you pivot left or right to go to whatever side. "Airman!" You're like, uh-oh. And you stop, about face, go right to him, and, "Sir, Airman Winters reports his order." And next thing you know, you're in front of the Snake Pit. And they will hit you with whatever. Anything from why did you round that corner, to why aren't your shoes tied, to what is the Air Force song, who is the fourth in your chain of command, whatever it is. And if you get it wrong, you at the mercy of the snake pit. And everybody and their uncle's sitting there watching, but not watching. They're all but listening to you getting reamed out. And then
this is dinner theater.
That every night in the chow hall. And the fun part was when you're about in 5th and 6th week of basic, you're kind of a veteran, and they really don't mess with you too much unless you're just an idiot.
Right.
They'll mess with you. But if you're kind of with it at that point, they start treating you a little better at that point. They start giving you a little respect. But that being said, you can't mess around in the chow hall or anything like that. But what was great is you're the one sitting there, and you're usually by that time your drill instructor's giving you more time to eat, so you can kind of stop and smell the roses
actually
and eat a little bit.
What you're eating, right?
And so they kind of let you do that by that point. So it was kind of nice. It's like, here's some new ones, and you see a rainbow come in and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. And you watch them, and these TIs would eat their lunch. I mean, I heard the best comeback or cut downs in the history of life in basic training. Just the people the say what you want. They're witty people. And I remember one drill instructor. He wasn't my drill instructor. He was our sister flights, our one next door. And so the two drill instructors are doing a inspection of the barracks. And so they go through your drawers and everything to make sure your shirts are in perfect section squares, the whole nine. I think I've told you this story. Roy will like this one. So we're all doing. I
actually have to go do.
Yeah, do your show. Sorry, I'm
sorry, Granddad. I just gotta step out real quick.
So the instructors are going from display to display, inspecting everybody's bunks and their personal displays and all that stuff. One of the drill instructors, he's like talking to himself in a cartoon voice. And he's going, let's see what we can find wrong today. And he starts opening up the drawer and starts looking. And all of a sudden he grabs this guy's shirt. He goes, "Why are you so sad, shirt? What?" And he puts it up to his ear. "You're sad because you're not a perfect section square? Oh, that's too bad." Then throws it across the room and then grabs the drawer and throws it across the room.
I think I've seen that in a movie, actually.
Well, he does this whole thing. And this was every day. It was stuff like that in basic. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's life in a nutshell. It's pretty interesting. It's 8:30. Obviously, our guest isn't coming in. So,
are you a cartoon rabbit?
Right. They just said, it was just like I remember, like we were in drill marching, and you do your cadences and things. You hear I don't know, but I've been told, those kind of things. Well, we were doing our drill instructor started doing a cadence. We're marching around the pad, and there's a group of rainbows, which are those new guys there the first day, and they're still in their civilian clothes, and they're trying to teach them how to line up for drill and march and all that. And so we're marching by, going off to our class or whatever we're going to, and we see them. And next thing you know, our drill instructor starts up at one of those cadences and goes, "Rainbow, rainbow, don't be blue." And we all repeat, "My recruiter screwed me too." And we start going through. And I was like, wow, this is really like the movies and all that. Well, occasionally we did the cadence stuff, but that wasn't always a thing. But
I bet that was fun.
It was. It is 8:31. I should probably play commercials and do something like that. Sure. So we'll let Sean do more drops on his show he's supposed to be doing.
I just had to check in real quick.
Right, you check in. But we'll talk about other stuff or not. I don't know. We'll just see.
See what happens.
Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather. Then we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Please don't go away. We'll be back.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we'll stay a little bit on the windy side today. That big low pressure system heading into California won't be bringing us any rain. We'll stay in the low 60s for the afternoon high. Wind occasionally kicking up to about 25 miles per hour, and we should get sunshine. Down to the low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then sunny and about 60 again on Thursday, warming up on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
9 of 10 people with pre-diabetes don't even know they have it. Left untreated, diabetes can lead to other health complications including heart disease, stroke, and liver disease. Don't put off your care any longer. Artesia General Hospital's Diabetes Care Team can help you make a personalized plan to manage diabetes or pre-diabetes and reclaim your health. Learn more or request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/diabetes.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I know you've heard me say that you can trust Trustmark, but I want you to know what that looks like in real life. A few years ago, we installed a beautiful new roof for an older woman who was recently widowed. She was an artist and colors were really important to her. So when she said she didn't like the color of a brand new roof, we took that seriously. She had picked the color and signed off on it, but I just kept thinking, if she's going to walk into her house every day and be disappointed, then we're just going to redo it. So we did. We ripped that beautiful new roof off and replaced it with a slightly different color, and she was thrilled. Yes, it cost us quite a bit of money to make her happy, but I want you to know you can trust Trustmark to make it exactly right every time. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:36. Now I'm thinking about Iron Eagle.
Iron Eagle!
We were talking about go ahead.
No, I was going to say that what was it? Airhawk? What's that?
Airwolf?
Airwolf.
There was Blue Thunder and Airwolf.
Right, Airwolf. The sound of Airwolf specifically is a sense memory trigger for me. Just because I never watched the show.
Yeah.
But my older sister did, and like it would just it would permeate. That's
and it was a time where there was Blue Thunder, the movie, and that was an Apache helicopter. And then they turned that into a TV show.
Right.
After, I'm not sure, I think Airwolf came out first as a TV show. And that helicopter looked like the whale, kind of like a killer whale, if you remember.
Vaguely.
It kind of looked like Shamu, if you remember that one. The Blue Thunder was like an Apache helicopter. It had the big cannon, and that was the big deal about that helicopter was it had that I guess it was a 50 cal gun on the front, and it was on a ball turret, but it was aligned to his helmet, which is hokum garbage. But whenever he turned his head, the gun would aim that way, and that was like a big deal. Airwolf was more like whisper mode and all. I think Blue Thunder had whisper mode too, now that I think about it. Yeah, it did, because there's in the movie there's a scene where he's spying on some people in a skyscraper. And so he's got the helicopter right in front of there, and he goes, go to whisper mode. So he could sit there and then he does his sound.
A helicopter.
Yeah.
It can in whisper mode.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's hokum. It's complete garbage, but that was the movie. So. There you go. I think that was Airwolf. Starring one Ernest Borgnine.
Exactly. That sound smells like cigarettes.
I think
to me.
Was that Jan Michael Vincent with Ernest Borgnine?
Yeah, I believe it was Jan Michael Vincent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I want to say
January.
Was it Roy Schneider was in the Blue Thunder movie?
Okay.
The guy from Jaws.
Right.
I want to say he was in the movie. I don't think he was in the TV show. I think it was other people. But the movie was Roy Schneider. I'm almost positive.
This Blue Thunder you're talking about? Or?
Blue Thunder movie, not the TV show.
It would be, Roy Schneider.
Yeah.
Roy Schneider, John Badham, Malcolm McDowell. Daniel Stern was in that.
He may have not. That was in his serious acting days.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Damn. Not to be confused with Blue Steel, which is a look from Zoolander.
Yeah. Or what was the Shaq movie? There was Blue Thunder, what was that thing called? Blue Streak.
Okay.
With him and Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte was
like Kazam?
Yeah, no, Blue Streak. With Shaq and Nick Nolte.
Oh no!
It was actually a big movie at the time. I want to say that was Shaq's first movie.
It probably.
It was because he was playing a basketball player. I want to say that was the first that begat your Shazam and the RoboCop movie he did, whatever that one was called. What was that movie? Where he's kind of like a RoboCop. What is that one called?
Oh. Is that Double Team? No.
I don't know. They're all bad.
No, that's the one with
Double Team was
Dennis Rodman.
And
wasn't that the dude that the Wesley Snipes, right?
Was it Snipes and him?
I think so.
Yes. Snipes was the good guy, right?
Let's see. Double Team.
Yes. Like Snipes was a cop or something hunting Dennis Rodman. I feel like, and it turns out
Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dennis Rodman.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's what that is.
Oh, you know what? I'm confused.
What's
Wesley
the
Snipes is the bad guy in that Stallone movie. Yeah, Demolition Man. Yeah.
What's the Shaq movie, though?
It's one where he's kind of like RoboCop, I thought. And I think it's called Steel. I feel like it's Steel.
Yep, Steel. 1997.
Yeah. There was
a
Blue
military
Steel.
scientist takes to the streets as the high-tech crusader when his work on a formidable new weapon is hijacked. When a version of his weapon, which neutralizes enemies without killing them, starts appearing in the outside world, he dons a special suit and transforms himself into a cartoon-style superhero.
He goes, "Hey, don't stop.
Hey, Emma, stop. I'm going to need you to slow down. I'll take you down.
I'll go sling this Papa John's pizza at you.
I'm going to knock you down a notch.
Be careful. It's a Shackinator pizza. It's really big.
Be still. I got to go cut 13 ads for the general."
And then I got to fill and chill with my Epson inkjet printer.
I feel like he went to his agent and was like, "All right, listen, I'm going to do movies, but I'm only going to do bad ones."
Well, now those bad movies begat the commercials. Now he's an analyst and he makes more money in God. And
That's true.
All he does is crack jokes all day. You know,
Yeah.
he's got it good.
Make as much fun as you want, Morning Radio Monkey.
I buy pizzas and I live large. You are a poor man, so
your car is the size of my shoe.
I could crush you with my eyelid.
Miss me with your subcompact. Are we gonna get canceled for doing this accent?
Blue Steel's a good movie.
I don't care what none of y'all say. Papa John's does have better ingredients. You just don't understand.
You know, Netflix and chill. All you need is a Papa John Shackinator and Blue Steel on DVD or Blu-ray.
I prefer the short stack and shack. Not to be confused with steak and shack.
Oh man. Now I kind of want to see like Shaq, like pretty much all the NBA analysts, like in a room eating Shaqinators, watching Blue Steel on TV.
I'm not familiar with this Shackinator of which you speak.
It's a pepperoni pizza.
Is that all it is?
It's a Shack. I think it's called Shackinator. It's a big pepperoni pizza. It's like extra large and.
You know what I figured out? You know why I don't watch any like new movies? Seriously, or any new series. I don't see commercials. Like, because I don't watch regular TV, so I don't see commercials there. I pay for YouTube Premium, so I don't get commercials there.
What about Hulu?
I don't really know. It's the Hulu's is a premium too, so I don't get.
I got the cheap version.
So that's why I never watch, because I saw like a 15-second preview for a movie, and I'm like, that looks kind of interesting. I might check that out. But I never watch movies, or I never see commercials. And that's why you're right. It's called the Shackaroni.
Shackaroni. Okay, sorry.
I like Shackinator though. I feel like this.
They should listen to me.
That's right. I feel like there's something to that. Shackinator.
Well, and the commercial is very much out of the Nutty Professor. It's Shaq is all the different people sitting around the dinner table.
That's great. So he's doing this voice.
Yeah, so he's got like
voice, but he's trying to
Grandma
trying to
Shaq
Grandma.
and Papa Shaq and Shaq, and then like a Big Brother Shaq or something. I don't know.
Baby Shaq over in the corner.
There's like the guy who walks in, the Shaq version that walks in. He's like an 8-foot version of Wolfman Jack rolling in there. I'm like, what's going on?
My family would lovingly share back and forth the dinner scene from Nutty Professor in various points of our life.
Okay.
Like my mom would I'd cut one or something and she'd yell across the house, "That font sounded like it had a chain hanging from it."
Hookalies.
Yeah. A lot of that fun stuff. Oh, you walk over, but you limping back. You can walk over, but you limping back.
Yep. Yeah, it's basically shot just like that.
That's fantastic.
And that's the thing. Shaq's a witty dude.
He is.
Like, he's a funny, witty dude, and he's the perfect for what he is. He knows his lane.
He gets the joke.
You know, that's why we could joke about Blue Steel and stuff. He'll tell you it's a bad movie just like everybody else, but he's not. He's down to earth.
Cancel me if you want to. He'd love this accent.
He's a guy that kind of acts down to, at least the impression I get, he's pretty down to earth dude. So, and and also at the end of the day, his dad was a military. He was raised very stringent. That kind of reflects on him too.
It's not Blue Steel.
What's it called?
Just Steel.
It's just Steel. Yeah, Blue Steel
Blue
is
Steel
the look.
from
Blue Streak. I'm sorry. That's
Blue
the one I
Streak.
meant.
Blue Steel is from Zoolander.
Blue Streak is the
So
one I
he made a
kept
Blue
calling.
Streak and a Steel.
Yes.
And then Ben Stiller came along and took both of those and made Blue Steel.
So
Swept right down the middle.
what did we learn here? He's a closet Shaq fan.
There you go.
Yes.
He's just a huge fan.
Like, we go to Ben Stiller's house. He's probably got like, those posters you used to get when you go to a free game for like milk, and it was like one of the NBA players, like a actual height poster. He's got a couple Shaqs of those like laying around in his thing. I had a Manute Bol one because I lived in DC and we had the Bullets at the time. But I had a Manute Bol version. He was 7'7" or whatever it was.
The only thing I know about him is the reference from Family Guy, where he comes up. It's a birthday gram from Manute Bol, and he rings the doorbell, headbutts him. Bon anniversaire! Or headbutts him, throws a cake on him, and says Bon anniversaire. Yeah,
Manute Bol, asked for it by name. He's a good one.
I remember the time that Aaron Carter beat Shaq.
That's true. He did
beat him in what?
Well, not lifespan.
No.
Is that too soon?
What did he beat him in? A game of basketball?
Basketball, yeah. You ever heard that song?
Yeah, it's a whole song with a music video.
I'm telling you, I'm giving you the facts because that's how he beat Shaq.
He didn't beat no Shaq in a basketball. Unless Shaq was asleep or something.
That was shortly before. You know what? I'm not proud to admit that I know probably every word to Aaron's Party song. Is it called Aaron's Party? What is it called? I think it's just called Aaron's Party. Come get it, or parentheses. Come get it.
Yeah, that's something you got on me. I could not name a lyric, a song title, or anything of Aaron Carter's.
Well, here's
before he threw the best party ever.
Here's the sad thing. Is because of who I am and what I do for a living, I'll wake up with a different song just randomly stuck in my head every morning. Mm-hmm. The other morning, it was that song. So I'm in the shower going, things are going great. Then to my surprise, some girls walked in I didn't recognize. I said, fellas, yo, you got to get out. I'm like, why am I doing this to myself? Hey, man, I heard this was an open house. Open house? Yeah, that's what the flyer said. I didn't put up a flyer. Well, somebody did. Yeah, it's in here. Huh. This is why I don't know math.
Interesting.
No, not really.
I got to ask you a question, but I'm going to take the news break and all that. Because speaking of trailers of things, I want to. There's one I've wanted.
Real quick before you go to commercial, I got to mention this because I got this sent to me via text yesterday. Roswell Parks and Recreation invites all singles looking to mingle to let them be your matchmaker.
Oh,
at the first ever speed dating event.
Really?
It's going down 7 to 9 p.m. on Friday, February the 10th. It's $10. It's happening at the Roswell Adult Center, 807 North Missouri. Again, ages 18 plus, and it's speed dating. So if you've ever done that before, basically, it's
a friend sent that to you, or did you get it from like?
No, that was a friend.
It wasn't from an ex, was it?
No, that's
a sweet bit of irony when the ex gives you a singles.
Here's the thing. This is how sad my life is that I got this at 9:57 p.m. on a Tuesday. If that doesn't tip, that's not a statement on my life.
Yeah.
I
was like, someone's trying to tell you something. That's why I didn't know if you just so happened to get an announcement or some ex or something with like, by the way, there's a singles meet and greet. You should check it out.
New phone, who dis?
Nice. All right. Well, hopefully we'll get more information about that. And we'll share it with everybody here because everybody's got to love somebody, right?
That's true.
Yeah, everybody needs to be loved by somebody. So go find you somebody. All right. It is 8:50. Time for some news, weather, Wall Street business update. Quick break. We'll be back.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Department of Health's medical cannabis program announcing anxiety disorder is now added to the program's list of qualifying conditions for enrollment. A petition requesting anxiety disorder be added as a qualifying condition was submitted for consideration at the board's meeting earlier in 2022. The board, sure enough, voted unanimously to support the recommendation. Anxiety disorder is the first new qualifying condition added since the middle of 2019. Meanwhile, the city of Roswell is considering 2 more marijuana retail shop locations. Both sites have received initial approval for their permits. The first involves the construction of a UFO-shaped building called Hangar 84 at 3500 South Main Street. The second site is proposed for 737 North Main Street. That's the old A&W restaurant. That company also operates a large growing business out on East Hobson Road. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we'll stay a little bit on the windy side today. That big low pressure system heading into California won't be bringing us any rain. We'll stay in the low 60s for the afternoon high. Wind occasionally kicking up to about 25 miles per hour, and we should get sunshine. Down to the low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then sunny and about 60 again on Thursday, warming up on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Fallen cryptocurrency executive Sam Bankman-Fried pleaded not guilty at his arraignment on Tuesday as a federal judge fast-tracked his trial date for October the 2nd. The disgraced FTX founder claims that his parents, Stanford University law professors Joseph Bankman and Barbara Fried, have become the target of intense media scrutiny, harassment, and threats. Southwest Airlines is being sued by a passenger who said it failed to provide refunds to passengers stranded when an operational meltdown led the carrier to cancel more than 15,000 flights late last month. In a proposed class action filed December 30th in New Orleans, a passenger accused Southwest of breach of contract after a fierce winter storm that swept across the United States. U.S. construction spending unexpectedly rebounded in November, lifted by gains in non-residential structures, but single-family home building continued to be hammered by higher mortgage rates. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to two amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
With the hustle, bustle, and bright lights of the holidays in the rearview mirror, it's time to ease into the new year with a new car or truck from your friends at Roswell Ford. Because nobody makes car buying easier. With more than 500 pre-owned vehicles in stock and brand new units arriving all the time, finding the perfect vehicle is easy. A 3-day money-back guarantee on all pre-owned vehicles makes the decision easy. No payments for 90 days easily gives you time to put those holiday expenses behind you. And with a goal of 100% credit approval, Roswell Ford even makes financing easy, regardless of your credit situation. And we happily accept I-10s. Like I said, easy. So make some time and come see what we have for you at the Tailgate Nation. Whatever you're looking for, you can count on Roswell Ford to keep it simple and make it easy. We're waiting for you now at the corner of 9th and Main, so we're even easy to find.
I'm amazed at just how different our store looks from a year ago. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. It's been a long time coming, but our showrooms are absolutely filled with beautiful new items. Gorgeous power reclining furniture for your living room, cozy bedroom suites and mattresses, and stylish new dining room tables and dinettes. I'll bet we have exactly what you're looking for. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
This is Dallas Cowboys football 2022.
Nothing that says on Christmas Eve you can't make 3rd and 6.
Only heard here.
Snap back, throws the ball deep to the middle, Lamb at the 5.
All season.
Stop, spin, dances in.
Sunday afternoon, it's your Cowboys and the Washington Commanders.
Live from FedEx Field.
On this Dallas Cowboys radio network station.
Pre-game at 1:30 p.m. on 92.9 The Brand.
The tool used to measure your feet at the shoe store is called a Brannock device. The person that measures your feet at home for no reason is called a creep with a foot fetish. Here's Mike Winters.
So, be on the lookout in case you see a guy with his home foot measuring device.
Uncle Jim, stop it!
I got my home Braddock device. Why?
Wow.
Creepy.
Weird.
That's just, unless you're Al Bundy.
Dan Schneider? What the? Dan Snyder. Dan Schneider.
Schneider, yeah. I saw, speaking of Dan Snyder, of course,
you weren't.
Well, I am now.
Of course you are.
The Redskins, Commanders, released their new mascot over the weekend, amongst the other debacle of everything that is this garbage team. They introduced their mascot, a hog named Tutty Tutty.
It's a hog?
Uh-huh.
I understand the reference, but really though?
He's got a commander, like a uniform on his shirt and everything, and then he's Tutty. Tutty, and I guess it's for touchdowns or something. Anyway, he's actually kind of cute, and it's probably not a bad mascot if everything else wasn't just a garbage show.
Yeah, that's the problem is, what do pigs love?
Yeah.
Pigs love rolling in...
Well, it's after the hogs.
Themselves.
Anyway.
Their own excrement.
I saw a meme on Facebook yesterday that made me giggle. It was the Scooby-Doo cast about to unveil the crook, and it was Tutty, and they pulled the mask off, and it's Dan Snyder under the fat Tutty costume. And it's stupid, but it made me laugh. I don't know why. It just did.
So let me see. Tutty. I'm trying to find
it's Tuddy.
Yeah, Tutty the hog. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of adorable. You're not wrong.
Yeah, to be honest, that's the one thing they almost got right out of all this stuff that they did.
Yeah, he's just a happy-looking hog.
That thing will be good for the kids and good for making people happy at the game. So I think that's a win. They got the pig right.
Now I'm gonna put this out there. I've yet to see a picture of the hog without his hands affixed to his belly. There's like 16 pictures I've looked at, and they're all just like this.
Mm-hmm.
Started to worry he doesn't actually have the motion of his hands.
Might be. I don't know.
They're just sewn onto his belly.
I can't attest one way or the other on that. I wasn't there. But what was I going to ask you? There was
a trailer you were going to...
Yeah, it was a movie trailer. What was the movie?
I don't know.
Oh, shoot. Gosh.
My dad used to say, well, I guess it wasn't important enough to remember.
Yeah, that's my mom would say. Yeah, I guess, it wasn't that important, was it? It's a movie. What's movies getting ready to come out?
Lots.
There's one that I saw a trailer for that I was going to ask you, and
there's actually, we got to find it, but there's a whole list of new releases for...
What I was going to say is that furthers your what you said about how it should be called the Red Hogs, the football team.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. I'm sure that Bezos or whoever's going to buy them, and they'll blow it all up again here.
The fact that it has a big W makes me want to call them the Warriors.
Warriors.
Because also because in that movie they also dress like Native Americans and they wear like Apache outfits.
They kind of do have a punk, kind of like Village People meets a Native American tribe. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so it's like either the Warriors would have been good for me, but
Well, that was in there for a while. I always liked the Red Tails because of the historical attachment, but that's just me.
You mean like the George Lucas movie?
No, the World War II.
The plane?
Squadron of Planes, yes.
Well, yeah, that's the movie.
Yeah. Red Tail, the movie. Yeah, that one. All right, it is 9 o'clock. We got to play some news here. So we'll be back on the other side of news. You're listening to 106.5 at Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Don't go away, please. Por favor.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. High noon on Capitol Hill. We'll see the Republicans pick up right where they left off, trying to elect a Speaker of the House following 3 failed attempts yesterday.
I have the record for the longest speech ever on the floor. I don't have a problem getting a record for the most votes for Speaker, too.
California's Kevin McCarthy, the lead contender for the speakership.
Republicans took control of the House in November's midterm elections. They fell short of a predicted landslide victory, leaving only a slim majority to work with. McCarthy could only afford 4 defections. In the end, he lost 19 Republican votes. On the second ballot later in the afternoon, he lost another 19 votes. On the third ballot, he lost 20. The vote for Speaker will continue for an indefinite number of additional ballots until a candidate can secure a majority. But after 3 failed attempts, the House was adjourned Tuesday until noon Eastern Time on Wednesday, when the chamber will hold another vote. Bernie Bennett, Capitol Hill.
Parts of California battening down the hatches are bracing for more of what they've already experienced in recent days. More powerful storms on the way this week, according to forecasters.
It is going to be bringing the potential for significant flooding, and this will also include concerns for debris flows and rock and landslides as well.
Meteorologist Andrew Orison at the National Weather Service saying that the incoming storms will impact the coastal ranges and some urban centers, especially around the San Francisco Bay area. Number of job openings slipped in November but remained high, suggesting that businesses remain determined to add workers. A blow to the Federal Reserve's efforts to cool hiring and wage gains to fight inflation. Labor Department says there were 10.46 million job vacancies on the final day of November. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. Right now, the Dow is up 71 points, the NASDAQ Composite Index ahead 28, and the S&P better by 17. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Lee Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
Testimony at a hearing on November's crowd crush disaster in Seoul, South Korea, left at least 158 people dead.
Much of it focused on the former district police chief, Lee Im-jae, who was grilled on the security arrangements he'd made ahead of the Halloween celebrations. He was also questioned about his allegedly slow response to the first emergency calls, with politicians pushing him to explain why he took a car through slow traffic to the scene of the crush instead of a short walk. The victims' families have been calling for ministers and even the president to be held accountable for the disaster.
The BBC's Celia Hatton. South Korea standing by its claims that Seoul and Washington are discussing its involvement in U.S. nuclear weapons management in the face of intensifying threats by North Korea. This after President Biden denied the allies were discussing joint nuclear exercises. News and analysis, townhall.com. FTX founder and Democrat superdonor Sam Bankman-Fried does not want anyone to know who helped with a $250 million bail that got him out of jail. He's asking a judge to keep that under wraps.
The judge reportedly asked that in addition to Bankman-Fried and his parents, the bond be signed by at least two other people of considerable means, one of whom cannot be a relative. After the cryptocurrency company filed for bankruptcy, the company's new CEO discovered evidence of Fried allegedly lending himself $1 billion and FTX corporate funds being used to buy personal homes and support Democratic candidates with campaign donations, among other things. Within the course of 1 week in November, Bankman-Fried went from having about $16 billion to being completely broke. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Later today, President Biden visits a dilapidated bridge connecting Ohio and Kentucky, there to promote his administration's infrastructure law. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace Inviernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
Hope your Wednesday is going swimmingly well.
We need to talk. We need to talk about something though.
Yeah, okay.
You've gone this whole show without gracing our listeners, our viewers on KSBPTV.com with your New hat.
Oh yeah, my hat. I forgot about that. Yeah, I have.
So Mike Winters,
I've talked about the hat.
he's talked about that plenty, but got himself a cabbie hat.
This is my new look now. What do y'all think?
I honestly, when you walked in with it earlier,
yeah,
unironically, I dig it. It's got a real like, it knocks you up a notch.
Do I look like I know what I'm talking about now?
A little bit.
Like I feel smarter?
You look like you come from learned stock, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker with this hat. So, turn it around.
Yeah.
Because you can go to Samuel L. Jackson.
So right now, I'm smart.
Right. He's Robin Williams' Dead Poets Society.
But sometimes, when I'm ready to turn it around and I want to go from be a different man, I just take this. This way with it.
Bam! Look at that.
And now
he's a hotshot director, right?
Who's ready for some unadulterated action?
No. When he's wearing it like that, that's when you roll in with, it's wintertime.
That's right, wintertime.
Well, no, when you had it forward, I just hear Irish music.
Okay. Well, I am Irish.
Well, I said when he walked in with it, I was in the middle of doing a break, but as soon as I was done,
so now I'm back to being smart again.
Oi! Get then.
This is my heritage, maybe. I don't know.
Isn't it?
Would that be more Scottish?
That would be probably more Scottish, but
yeah.
But honestly, yeah, it does have like a newsboy look to it.
I look like a factory worker from the 1920s. Is that what you're saying?
Like, well, I could very much picture you in dirty overalls screaming extra, read all about it.
I could do it. Maybe I was a paper boy once, so yeah, maybe I was. So, but yeah, I think like my mother-in-law gave me this and we've talked like years. People kind of been, I should wear one of these. People like, yeah, you look good and you have the face to wear this hat, and they got me one a couple years ago, but it was way too big, and I looked like some weird child playing a French pastry chef or something. I don't know, but and so this one I got this year, and it's. And I knew something was going down when someone said, "What's your hat size?" So why do you need my hat size?
How big is your head?
Yeah, so I gave my hat size, and here this hat showed up. Well, I got two hats. I got a Washington Commanders baseball cap, which I have not worn yet. It's the military style, so it's got the green with the red W on it, and the yellow, and the burgundy and gold W. But I think I'm going to wear this. Like, I've worn it 3 or 4 times out and about, and no one said anything like, "Look at that weirdo."
Yeah.
So I think I'm all right.
You're like, it's fine. You know what's funny is I'm gonna have to end up wearing my hat, my Christmas gift, because I got a Jack hat.
Okay.
For Christmas.
I saw the picture. Yes. Yeah.
Now, if you're not familiar, the Jack hat, I call it that because Jack is the lead singer of this band AJR I listen to, and he's notorious for wearing one of those hats. I think it's called like a trapper hat, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, you see them like when people go hunting and stuff like that.
Pretty much.
Camping.
But every time I've worn it, the general reaction I've gotten from people is, it should change. It is basically like the 3 or 4 interactions I've had with like people at like, point of sales is chuckles slightly under breath and then like, is he serious? For the record, no, I'm not. Almost.
Was there any Elmer Fudd references or anything?
No,
be very
That's
quiet.
the thing. If I'm among my people, if I'm at an AJR concert, oh no,
I forgot. Did we schedule you for today? Good. I'm glad we
welcome.
Yeah, we.
Good morning.
I forgot to write it down. That's
Welcome
what I
to
did.
it.
But we got it. We're good. We're good.
So
we're
it's funny these two worlds because every year I'm reminded, thanks to my Facebook memories, that several years ago I shared a picture of a tabby cat in a cabbie hat with the caption, "Fancy that."
Yeah. You know what? I got my new calendar and wrote it on my old one and not on the new one. That's what it was. I screwed it up. So but we're good. We don't have a guest, so that's why we're talking about my hat. So your opinion, because other than my wife and my mother-in-law, I've got no other female opinions.
I don't mind them. This is nice.
Do I look like an idiot or do I look all right?
For work, it's a little dressy.
It's a little dressy, but I'm saying he pulls it off, right? It's not like he looks like he's trying to do a thing.
No, you don't look like a teenager trying to start a new fad.
Right.
Well, thank you, I guess.
It suits you.
Maybe the gray beard might give that away.
Side question: have you seen the picture I posted on Facebook of the hat that I received for Christmas, the Jack hat? If not, I can pull it up. Okay, are you familiar with the band AJR? No, you're not. It's a stupid
Are you
question.
familiar with Elmer Fudd? Yes, you are.
So yeah, I know it's a goofy hat, but I feel like I can pull it off.
The only thing I saw was the stuff with the kids.
Yeah, it was like Christmas Eve, I think. Did you get a little early?
It was the night before.
I feel
Christmas.
like it was Christmas Eve.
It was the night before Christmas when I received the jacket. Here it is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah, I did see that. Sorry.
Not one I could pull off for an everyday look.
Let me see it again.
All right.
I'm trying to remember the photo of you. Well, the smile doesn't do it justice,
Yeah,
but I think, you looked that fine in that thing.
I'm also relatively unshaven in that picture.
Well, you're trying to look goofy in that picture. Like your
Breasty.
face, I could tell by your face, you're trying to do a duh.
Yeah. That's it.
But if you have your normal face, I think you're fine.
Wabbit season.
Be very, very quiet.
Say,
Well, Crystal Noble will join us from the Humane Society here in just a bit. We will replay our... Hey, Roy, you know what we're talking about now, right? Because this happened last time with our interview we were going to play. So save that interview for another month, okay?
What interview?
Robert Sherman Part 2. Oh. Remember? We had the issue last month where we had a guest and I was going to play, and he held on to that interview for like 2 months. And then... and then when I told him I wanted to play it, he didn't have it anymore. So, it is 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Looks like we'll stay a little bit on the windy side today. That big low pressure system heading into California won't be bringing us any rain. We'll stay in the low 60s for the afternoon high. Wind occasionally kicking up to about 25 miles per hour, and we should get sunshine. Down to the low 30s and clear for the overnight hours, and then sunny and about 60 again on Thursday, warming up on Friday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, let me get to my weather. I need to refresh. That weather's not the freshest weather possible. Currently 60 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 3 miles per hour. So it's warm out there already, huh? Our high today is 61. So using that logic, we're either going to beat that high or we're only going to get 1 degree warmer before the day is out. I feel like it's going to be warmer than 61. But they claim 61. West winds, a little breezy, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy, 31 for an overnight low, west winds 5 to 10. For you Thursday, mostly sunny, 63 for a high tomorrow. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 35 degrees, southwest winds at around 5. For Friday, mostly sunny, 71 for a high. We're going to be in the 70s by the end of the week. South winds 5 to 10. And then cools back down a smidge for the weekend. Mostly sunny and 60 on Saturday. Sunny and 60 on Sunday as well. All right, it is 9:15. We're going to take a quick commercial break. And then Crystal with the Roswell Humane Society will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
I'm amazed at just how different our store looks from a year ago. Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. It's been a long time coming, but our showrooms are absolutely filled with beautiful new items. Gorgeous power reclining furniture for your living room, cozy bedroom suites and mattresses, and stylish new dining room tables and dinettes. I'll bet we have exactly what you're looking for. So hurry to Glenn's Furniture at the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Let the countdown begin. In 2022 on a high note at Big O's year-end sale. Head to Big O for our best deals on tires, brakes, oil changes, and more from December 12th through January 8th. And right now, get a $70 Visa reward card or Visa virtual account after online submission on a set of 4 new Michelin passenger or light truck tires. Plus, get an additional $70 prepaid MasterCard on installation purchase of sets of 4 Michelin passenger or light truck tires. No resolutions here. Just giant deals to get your car ready for the new year. But hurry, you only have a few days left to save. Go big at Big O during our incredible year-end sale, December 12th through January 8th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Installation charges extra. Required on all 4 tires. Not valid with other offers. Disposal fees and shop fees extra where permitted. Void where prohibited. See rebate form for terms and conditions. Additional retailer offer advertised within is independent from the manufacturer's offer.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Bamboo plants can grow up to 36 inches in a day. So if you're told you're growing like a weed, you can say, no, I'm growing like a bamboo. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It was 19 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Humane Society, Crystal Noble back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am good.
Good deal. Yeah.
Wish it would be actual winter weather out there and not spring.
Yeah, it's going to confuse the trees. We keep this up, and next week we're going to start seeing leaves start showing up on trees again.
Yeah.
I know.
We're going to be in the 70s at the end of the week, and then high 60s weekend.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, oh, it's blooming season.
I know. Talk with her husband at Roswell Seeding if you're wondering how to combat whatever's going on now with the weather.
Just go ask for John.
Yeah.
He'll be like, just wait a
They
minute.
can tell you the right stuff to take care of all this. So.
Right.
But, of course, if you're not familiar, Crystal joins us every couple weeks to give us an update on what's available for adoption at the Humane Society, and then, of course, talk about any specials, deals going on with the thrift store, and just, reminding folks. I know over the holidays we shared one of your videos that someone had abandoned some dogs by just leaving in a box.
Yes.
And unfortunately, it was right at that time when it was that Arctic freeze, like the day before Christmas or before. It was right at a couple days before Christmas where it was like.
It was the coldest time of year.
Yeah, and somebody left him out there. And some people are like, yeah, it's better than the person could have done worse things. We are in agreement there. However.
It's not hard to knock on the door.
Yeah.
And it's not hard to come in and say, I need help.
And when the temperature's that cold and you don't know, it could be the next day before someone finds that box of dogs. You just don't know. Depending on when they're left there and everything else, that's more than enough time to freeze those animals to death. And
then setting a 50-pound bag of dog food on top of the boxes, if that box would not have held up with that food, that 50 pounds
could have crushed them. Yeah.
They're not big puppies.
So, yes, that person could have done worse things, but that was not the proper way to handle that.
No, and his intentions were ill because he removed his license plate.
Oh, okay. So he was being nefarious and he knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And
but luckily,
I was reading the comments. A lot of people were kind of like, "Well, at least he didn't, leave him in a ditch somewhere." And I'm like, "Well, so he's not as bad as one would think, but he's still pretty bad, But anyway, my point is, if you cannot take care of these pets, go through business hours. That humane society will be happy to take them off your hands.
Call us,
but
talk
do
to
it
us,
properly.
Tell
Call
us
them
what's going on,
Yeah.
so that way we can make arrangements to help you.
That way.
There's a lot of people out there that are struggling right now, and unfortunately, our shelter's only so big.
Yeah.
And if people aren't adopting animals, they're dumping them. That's more animals coming in than going out.
Yeah. Now, just curious, these weren't pets that you've seen before, right? These were.
No, they were a litter of puppies.
Okay. So someone had a litter, and then he didn't know what to do with them, and they ended up at your house.
Right.
Or you're at the Humane Society.
My house, pretty much. But with some of the public's help, we were able to locate the gentleman.
Oh, good.
And he didn't even live in Roswell. He drove all the way from Dexter to come down here and dump the dogs.
Oh, wow. So hopefully that's been addressed and taken care of. And good news. Are the puppies okay? That's the important
thing. They were
thing.
put up for adoption right before Christmas because animal control actually found them outside.
they were on the short list there, I'm guessing.
So they animal control, he did it. We were there, but we weren't open to the public yet. And an animal control officer saw the boxes with the dog food on them, came over, checked, saw the puppies, and took them in next door.
Okay. So.
And then we pulled surveillance and all of that.
Good deal. So did y'all take ownership, or did they stay at the?
No, they stayed at animal control, just because we were trying to get the gentleman prosecuted.
Gotcha.
And if they would have stayed at our facility, because we're a private nonprofit, we don't have the authorization to go out and prosecute somebody.
Understood.
So animal control had to keep ownership of them.
Okay.
But I do believe that all of them were either pulled by rescue or adopted.
Okay, good. So they're either found a home or in the process of finding.
Yes.
Them. Now, were they able to charge this person, or did that just go with warnings and?
We're still working on that.
Okay. Because I'm thinking, does the fact that he's not a city resident, does that pose any?
They have
legalities
to
or anything
mail
that
him a junction, but because of where he lives, there's no mailbox out there, so we have to locate a mailing address for him.
I gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm assuming he has a P.O. box somewhere if there's no mailboxes there at the property. So.
Yeah, he lives far enough out to where, you have a P.O. box.
Gotcha. Well, the point is, don't do that. Don't call.
No.
It's too easy to get rid of or for you to surrender those puppies without risking harm to the puppies, and to be honest, embarrassing. I know a lot of people imagine they're embarrassed that they can't do it, and don't be embarrassed about that. They much rather you come in and say, "Look,
and if it was
we had an accident, we had a mistake. I need help here."
And we would have offered to help you get your dog spayed, so you wouldn't end up with another accidental litter.
Humane Society is very compassionate people. They want what's best for those animals, and if you're trying to do that, even though it's not the most ideal thing, they're going to work with you on that. That's if you come knocking on the door with a box of puppies and saying, "I can't take care of these, help me," they're going to be much more receptive and helpful to help you than you just leaving a box of puppies with a thing of dog food on the front and turning your back on it.
And it happens so regularly. Mm-hmm. 2 days prior to that, we had a puppy dumped in a crate.
And how often do you find out too late? I mean, that's got to be, every once in a while, that does happen.
It does happen lately. It's not been like it used to be because we have our surveillance cameras.
Yeah.
And so I can monitor them from my phone.
So you guys are kind of...
so can one of the president. She can look at them too.
So when someone shows up there, you kind of get a notification.
Yeah,
and you can check it out whether it's a bird going through or something nefarious.
We've had people throw dogs over the fence where the outside is metal but the inside is chain link, and their legs get caught in that chain link and it breaks their legs.
Oh, jeez.
And they're there overnight because we didn't have surveillance cameras at that time. Or they just throw them over not caring, and then when they land 7 feet down, they've broken a bone too.
It's sad. So please, and if you know people doing this, report them because
call the city of Roswell, call animal services.
There's no need for any of that.
No,
just not at all.
There are 2 shelters. There's rescue groups. There is a way to get help.
Yep.
You just have to ask for it instead of trying to just take care of it by that means.
Ballpark. Do you guys guesstimate on how old you think those puppies were?
They were about 6-7 weeks old.
Okay, so they were old enough to be adopted. So they've had them for a while. It wasn't like they just showed up on their doorstep days ago.
He has the mama dog.
Okay.
As soon as mama stopped feeding him, he dumped him.
Ah, that's it. That was the switch when the mama stopped feeding them when they get to that point. Okay, makes sense. All right, now I follow. I was just trying to.
Yeah. And then this past Friday, somebody set the thrift store drop box on fire again. And this time it provided a lot of damage.
What happened now?
Somebody pulled up, had a paper bag with something lit in it, stuck their head inside the drop box, lit it on fire, and took off.
That's terrorism. That's just arson and terrorism. That's what that is.
So PD has a bolo out for the gentleman. They don't want us sharing his photo and video on Facebook just yet.
Okay.
But we have his license plate. We have a picture of his face. We have video of him starting the fire and leaving the scene.
Well, I hope they catch this person, and I hope they get the maximum penalty, because that's just terrorism. That's all that is. That's if you're throwing flaming anything into a that's arson, and that's what terrorists do. That's to me domestic terrorism.
It's uncalled for.
Yep.
One, if somebody did something to make you mad at the thrift store, at the kennels, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Call down and make a complaint.
Yep.
But don't endanger the animals, because if that fire wouldn't have been caught, the animals could have been injured. It could have been a total loss.
Yep. And clearly this is someone with some serious mental health problems. Doesn't matter. Throw the book at them, because if you're of sound mind enough to think this was a good idea, then you're a sound mind that's sitting in a prison for a little bit, the way I see it.
You burn us, let us burn you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eye for an eye.
I feel that passion, but we do have laws, and we gotta respect them. But that being said, I feel your pain on that, because I don't understand why people, especially for a place at the end of the day, all they're doing is trying to help pets, help animals find homes, and making that connection between loving families and pets. That's all they're trying to do, and everything that they do is for that. Because you don't qualify for whatever reason, or because I'm sure there's a myriad of reasons why people think these are good ideas to do these dumb things. Just because you think that, it doesn't make it amnesty free here. You're going to get caught, and you should be punished. And I don't care how rough your life is. If you're trying to blow up people's buildings, bye-bye. We're done with you.
Yeah,
put you away.
That's like somebody going to a homeless shelter and trying to set it on fire because they're helping the homeless.
I'm all for second chances, but some things you don't get the second chance from, and that's one of them.
No.
Is when you're doing things like that. When you're terrorizing.
It was intentional. It's not like he was looking in to steal something and a cigarette dropped.
Yeah.
No. He had something in a paper bag that he lit on fire and put inside the bin. So it was a bottle of alcohol or something.
Yeah, in essence, a Molotov
He went
cocktail.
there with intentions to start a fire. He didn't just pull up and say, let's start a fire. No, it was premeditated. He had it thought out.
Well, I hope they catch this person and they get the full maximum sentence that we're allowed to do to them, because they deserve it, so, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
Anyway.
With that being said, so because of the damages from the fire, we are looking for donations to help repair the damages. Luckily, the fire department got it put out in enough time where it's not too much damage.
What kind of damage is done that you need to fix?
So we have the drop bin and then the storage unit right next to it. The entire front part of the drop bin on the inside is plywood. The outside is metal. So all the plywood is burnt.
Okay.
So
we
we
really
need
need replacement plywood.
Replacement plywood for reinforcements. Just
nail
little
screws and things
of that nature. If you got extra lying around, we'd be glad to.
And I would
use
do one better. If there's some handy people out there that would maybe like to donate some time and effort and say, hey, I heard what happened. I'm free next week. Can I spend the afternoon and do some carpentry work and clean that up for you? If there's a kind-hearted soul that has time and ability to do that, we would greatly appreciate that.
That would be a blessing.
Yeah. Like I said, we can't really afford to pay in anything because the money's kind of being used to take care of pets right now. But we would greatly appreciate if there's some kind, generous pet lovers out there that would love to fix that bin and do they
help us.
Fortunately, you're able to keep the thrift store open and everything. It's not burnt to a
it didn't
point.
get into the thrift store.
Good.
It just was the donation bin area and then
Good.
the storage bin next to it, where We store like the extra books that are donated and
Which I imagine
Christmas.
whatever was in there is gone.
All of that was a total loss.
Yeah.
They had to completely take everything out because it was either smoke damage, water damage,
Yeah,
fire
about to
damage.
say, the clothing, anything that was in there probably picks up that smoke smell, and that's all ruined too. Yeah, you're right. Matter of fact, you're lucky the whole thing doesn't smell like smoke.
It took about 4 days of airing the building out and running air conditioners and cooler months.
Oh, good.
To
You got off lucky.
pull it
I've
out.
seen it where they've had to remodel and redo things just to get that smell out, depending on how bad
the
smoke
drop bin
damage.
still smells like smoke some, but not as bad as it did the inside of the thrift store.
And ultimately, we'll end up just replacing that bin anyway, is the goal. So
Eventually, yes, we would like to have a different bin. We just have a lot of unintelligent people in this world, so it limits us from what we can put out there because we can be sued if somebody gets stuck inside the drop box. So we have to make it accessible for them to climb in and out because if they get stuck in there, we're liable for them.
what if you make it so they can't climb in it to begin with?
We've tried that,
Yeah.
and they put their kids in there, and then their kids got stuck, and then the fire department got called.
This is what's called thinning the herd. Rather than they get to sue for this crap, we just leave them there and let life sort itself out. That's the way I think.
Divine intervention. But
let's talk adoptions. Let's talk happy stuff here.
there are a lot of stuff that did not get damaged at the thrift store.
Okay.
So they do have a lot of antique books still.
Okay.
Vintage books, and then just regular books. You know, your fictional, non-fictional, romance.
Does all the Christmas decor get put away at this point, or can you buy some cheap stuff to store at this point?
They
or?
sold everything Christmas.
So it's all gone.
It's all
even
gone.
better.
They have Valentine's Day stuff out now for people who like to decorate for Valentine's Day, and then
That's the
cute
next
little,
holiday here.
It is the cute little
Pez dispenser.
No, the little push buttons that say "Be mine."
Oh
and all
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
They've got a bunch of those. They're
Okay.
already starting to pull that stuff out. If you are looking for purses, people who received new purses for Christmas donated their old purses.
So there's a bunch of purses.
There's a lot of purses.
Nice.
If you need throw pillows, couch pillows, they are completely stocked. They
Good.
have about 2 on the clothing racks. They have them on the top. They've got 2 big clothing racks full of pillows.
Oh wow.
Couch pillows.
And
throw
you know you
pillows.
spend a ton of money on those things that end up just getting moved around everything. Go buy them at the thrift store, pay 1/10 of the price of what they cost.
And I will tell you that they do sort them. You know, if they're dirty or stained or torn,
Sure.
they don't put them out for sale.
These are perfectly good, clean, and probably in some cases maybe brand new, but you know how people get, this doesn't go with the decor like I thought it was, and they end up getting something else. And
I am that person. However, I am that person that also shops at the thrift store too. Anybody who likes to do gift baskets, like to be creative and make baskets for like holidays and stuff, they have a ton of wicker baskets.
Nice.
Ranging from little ones to great big ones that you make like the fruit baskets
Okay,
and all
or
of that
little-
stuff in.
you do like a wine gift basket, or cheese and meat sampler deal or something. Yeah.
They've got a lot of wicker baskets, and I think the wicker baskets are like $2 a piece for the big ones,
Oh, wow.
and
So
like
you can
50
stock
cents
up.
for the little ones.
Matter of fact, Easter's a few months away. You can stock up now and get you some Easter basket style things to use as Easter baskets, things like that. So.
Or if you like to just make like the fake flower arrangements inside
Sure.
the baskets.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the fake flowers there to help in making this. So if you're one of those creative people that likes arts and crafts and looking for an inexpensive hobby, we got you stocked.
Or one more, if because now we'll be getting in the new year here, and we'll start seeing a lot of organizations do fundraisers and things. A lot of times they'll do silent auctions and things, and people donate items. Well, if you want to make your own little gift baskets for silent auctions and things, you can stock up on those baskets
can.
at the thrift store, and
Yeah.
then when you're ready to put one of those together, you've got a bunch of baskets ready to go.
You can.
You know, and you've spent $10 and got a whole slurry of them. So
I'm laughing because, you know, Friday's going to be 72-ish. Well, they've had a plethora of fans donated. You know, the oscillating fans.
Oh yeah.
So they've got 7 of these things, ranging from the little ones that sit on the counter to the big ones that have their own little stand. So if you're one of the hot-natured people that don't like Anything above 40 degrees, we got fans. They've got brand new shoes that they put out. They went through over the Christmas holiday, after the Christmas holiday, and everything that was old, they pulled out and they restocked with everything new. Shoes, clothes, everything.
Nice. So come check out the new.
It is completely new today.
Well, today's also Wednesday, which is new stuff day. So
yeah, it is.
And I imagine with everything that went on and stuff, it's been a busy week for the thrift store. So they probably got some stuff that they're ready to display and ready to
and they've
turn
got a
into
lot
money
of
for the
just
for the animal.
miscellaneous knick-knack household things. Just a lot of different things. Everybody was generous after Christmas this year in donating.
I'm glad because I imagine a lot of people got new stuff and they have old stuff that's perfectly good. They just don't have space for said old stuff.
I haven't gone through my old stuff yet to take to the thrift store, but it will go there because I got a really nice knife set for Christmas that is like the forged and fired knife set.
Yeah, okay.
So every time I cut with it, I go, "It will kill." My husband laughs because he's the one that bought them for me.
Nice.
So I was cutting up sausage and I was like, "It will kill." And he just looks at me and I was like, "What? I like my knives." But they are super sharp.
Well,
so.
and that's the thing is if you maintain them and keep them sharp, and they'll last forever.
And they came with their own sharpener, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good knife set. That's you can go to the big box store, and I've done it, and I've probably you spend $30 or whatever, or $40 on one of those knife sets, and they're fine for starting out and doing all that. But if you want something that's kind of generational, you want to invest in one of those.
So I've learned something.
Mm-hmm.
Being the person who bought the big box set, I spent like $150 on a knife set that was supposed to be anti-rust,
like a high-end one.
A high-end one, like no rust, no dulling. It come with a sharpener. They didn't even last a year, and they were starting to rust, even washing, drying, and putting them up.
Wow.
So stainless steel is a good brand, but if you're looking for, quality, look for Damascus style.
Okay.
Because that
holds up better.
The thicker blade, and it holds up better.
Gotcha. Those are probably built by people that do things with knives outside the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are the blacksmiths that, beat the crap out of that knife to make it look all...
Sure, forge them.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm wondering if, and maybe I'm wrong, I wonder, like, when you make those knives that you see at the big box stores, and, like, I'm sure there's no guy forging those.
No, those
there's
are factory made.
Some kind of factory assembly line that, melts it down into this and shapes it and glues the handle together and all that other mess.
Those are factory made.
Yeah. So, but anyway.
But we're still hiring at the kennels.
Looking for basically someone to come and take care of the animals, clean the cages, and being an attendant for the animals, taking care of their needs, take them on walks when you can, and being a kind of a mommy or a daddy for the pets. And
it's basically you're coming to be daycare.
Yeah.
Take care of them. If they need medicine, give them medicine, clean up after them, feed them, love them, brush them, walk them.
So if you love doing that,
it's
get paid for it.
Yeah, and
a lot of people love
starting as of the first of this year, minimum wage has gone up to now $12.50, I believe.
Okay.
So
and this is a 40-hour week job.
It is a 40-hour week job.
So it's a full-time job.
We do offer you get sick time. After you've been employed for a year, you start earning vacation time.
Oh, nice.
Nonprofits aren't able to offer a lot, but we do have some little quirks that we're able to offer for employees.
Sure.
To help, don't leave us and go to this $25 an hour paying job.
Sure.
Because, we're a small business. And
well, let's face it, too. Yes, you have a lot of work. You're cleaning up vomit and puke and things at times.
And there's sometimes other things that come out of there that you're like, what is that?
But at the end of the day, it's a pretty fun job. I mean, it's like if you're in a bad mood, sitting there and hanging out with the dogs for an hour, I imagine turns that around, especially when you've been there a while and the dogs know you and they know you, and you know their idiosyncrasies and things and their personalities and what, and it turns into, I mean, it's just like you having your own pet, it's like my cat. When I get home, I know that cat, I know her tendencies, and she knows mine, and she's a creature of, and the more I spend around her, the more like these days where I'm off and I was like home all day, I realize how much that cat just does, Like there's like the cat has its own normal routine when I'm not there, but when I'm there, like even when the cat's not in my lap or whatever, the cat's laying near me. Like I next thing you know, I feel a head on my foot as a pillow. That it's just that and that's kind of what you establish with these
you do,
animals.
And when when you have an animal that comes in that is like terrified of people, and you get to be a part of that animal's recovery to be happy and know that people aren't going to hurt them, and just bloom into a wonderful pet. That gives you a feeling that you can't get at retail. Yes, helping an older person,
Sure.
with their groceries and whatnot. Yeah, that's a good
I would
feeling
imagine
too.
at days when you go home at night, there's days when a dog or a cat that was sick is now feeling better and stuff. It's a real sense of like I had a good day.
It is,
like, I
and
got
then
something done.
when you have animals that you have to work hard to build their trust. Animals don't trust easy. They are very judgmental, and when you can earn that trust, that's something that not everybody can say.
Sure.
This is what I do for a living. I help these shy animals become not shy and socialized and find them a home of somebody that's going to love them.
I think young people that maybe have goals or aspirations to become a veterinary,
They need to be in a shelter first.
yeah, spend some time learning how to interact with them, because your bedside manner as a vet is going to be the difference between success and failure in diagnosing a lot of pets. You know what I mean? Because those quirks and things, yeah, sure, you run tests and all that, but the demeanor that you have with pets, because just face it, like the kennel, the vet is generally a place where you see pets at their worst. They're either sick or
Right.
not happy with being in an environment they're not familiar with. And so a lot of the same bedside manner treatments that you do in the shelter will also apply in the doctor's office.
And it helps you see animals in a different light, because you've got people that are bringing their personal animals in that they know the people here with us, they don't know us. So they're not familiar in the area at all.
Sure. They may not be pleased by your smell, and it gives them an attitude for it. And you're like, I didn't do a dang
that
thing.
perfume.
Yeah, that's just it. They get a vibe off you, and regardless of your intentions, you're going to have to work harder to win that one over approval. And to learn that young, and I imagine I've never been to veterinary school, but I would imagine that's kind of stuff they can't teach in school. They teach you what connects to what and how to fix this, but how to be a person that a dog loves, that's not really a taught. That comes with experience.
And it does. And what's even funnier is, cats and dogs, dogs are less likely to be as judgmental as cats. But cats, they're judging you from the second they can see you. Before you see them, they're already judging you.
Yeah.
And cats typically are not anything like themselves in a shelter. They're complete opposite when they get into a home environment and they feel comfortable. And when you see them in a shelter, they're at their worst. They are basically at the bottom, rock bottom, and are just trying to climb up and move forward.
Basically, if you've got a cat laying on her back spread out on the floor in your home, you've got a good environment for that cat.
Yeah.
That's the biggest indicator, because that cat feels comfortable and safe. They're not showing their belly to people that they think are adversarial.
No.
And so that's just one of those little indicators, like the cat's happy and the cat feels comfortable and safe, because it's just sitting here spread out, airing out for the whole world to see.
Look at my business.
But that's an indicator.
And we do have, our cats are back available for adoption at the kennels. We do not have any more respiratory issues.
All that's cleared up?
So we're cleared up.
Good.
We are currently working on our website, so there might be little glitches here and there. We got a new logo.
That's right. Yeah, the new UFO themed logo.
So we're trying to get the colors to match the logo on the website, so that way it's all symmetrical and it looks nice and neat. However, it's not as quick and easy as people think it is just to go click and change colors, because you have to do it on every individual person, dog, cat, everything.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I can't just do
So it's
Control A.
time-consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that doesn't
Are you
work.
doing all this?
Me and Felicia.
Okay. Do you guys have, like, programming experience?
I'm the one that made our website.
Okay, so you guys, cool.
I did go to college, people.
I didn't know for computer stuff. I didn't.
Nope.
Interesting.
It was a trial and error and a whole bunch of Googling and, hey, do you know how to do this? And can you help me with this? But
Well, if any IT guys are listening and want to share some knowledge with her that she's may not picked up to maybe make some of these things she's talking about easier, because I feel like there might be a quick way to fix that that a computer person may know.
It's not so much that there's not a quick way to fix it.
Yeah.
It's the web user that we go through is GoDaddy.
Okay.
And so you have your packages.
So it's their rules and what
so we have the lower package, so we're not paying like
I got you. So if you want more,
year.
you want to pay more, they'll give you the Cadillac amenities on
Yeah.
it. I got you.
So this is the Po' Boys website.
Can you get some dirt on Danica Patrick and use that as maybe to barter for some more amenities?
I can tell you things you don't know.
That's right. Yeah. Upgrade our account, or these photos are getting leaked.
Right. But we do have the cats back available.
Good.
There is one that's still not available just yet, but it's not that she's sick. She's just had some inflammation, so they wanted to make sure that the inflammation went down beforehand.
A couple more, just making sure there's nothing flares back up.
Right.
Or anything regresses.
So we still have Sunflower. September made 1 year.
All right.
So she's going on almost 18 months in the kennel.
Yeah, that's way too long. That's about 12 months too long. That's actually about 16 months too long.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with her. She is reactive if another dog starts. She doesn't go up intentionally starting anything, but when you correct her, she stops. So she needs a family, that will work with her. We had Jimmy Preston from J-Paws come and work with her some too, just to see. And he walked her with his dogs, and she was perfectly fine.
So some animals that she gets along with, okay.
It's as long as she has high energy, and she needs another dog that can accept that energy.
Okay.
Because if they can't and they start growling, that's when she reacts.
So you need I'm thinking a younger
And she's
lab.
young. She's
But like if you have a
maybe-
dog that's like a lab or a collie, one of those family dogs that are very tolerant of children, that are pretty high energy, that sounds like if you pair her with a dog like that, she might thrive.
And
then they might be best buddies.
She's not very big. She's probably 50 pounds on the high end,
Okay.
but she's all muscle. She's short.
Okay.
I think she's like lab boxer or
Okay.
maybe pit boxer.
And
there's
any
a lot of that.
dog that you work with, when you start training and interacting, a lot of that energy goes away. And what I mean by not goes away, but it gets satiated. So it doesn't use that energy to tear up things or do acting out in angst because it's bored or
And
stir
she
crazy.
loves to go on walks.
Mhm.
Like, she loves them. We have a couple of volunteers that come throughout the week, and she's one of the ones that gets walked because she's higher energy and she's been there so long. But the second she sees the harness, she's like, yep, I'm ready. And she sits, and she knows sit, she knows down, she knows
How old
stay.
is she, roughly?
She's going on 2 years old.
So she's still
She was a
young
pup
dog.
when she came to us.
Okay.
So she's grown up in our kennel.
So she doesn't know anything different for the most part. It's
No.
Really, okay. Well, come take a look at this dog. Find a home, and if maybe and maybe this might be one to adopt with another dog. This might be if you have room for two. Maybe we can pair her up with one of her buddies there, and
and we will do any meet and greet,
Yeah.
to make sure that they do good prior to. But she's not a bad dog. She's not your typical, big block-headed, poofy body. She's sweet. She loves people. She loves affection. She sees a kid and she melts. She loves kids.
Well, maybe a family with a couple kids and are willing those kids to run around and take her out to the park and do
just
stuff.
a single dog home.
Yeah.
That's always a very hard home to find because a lot of people want multiple dogs.
Well, if you catch the young couple first starting out and they're getting their first dog or something, that would be
Yeah.
with her. But come check. Well, you can go online. I just saw time. We probably need to hurry up here.
Yeah.
But
there's a dozen of pictures of Sunflower on there because every time she goes out to the park for walks, they take pictures. We upload them on our Facebook page.
Wasn't she one of the photo sessions that y'all did like about a year ago with? Remember that the Christmas? She was one of those.
Yeah, and then she was actually recently. They did do another one of her. We did Polly. We did Polly in the Santa Claus hat. That was hard. So anybody who says, "Oh, taking these, designer pictures," no, it's not easy because the dogs don't want to sit still. They don't want to cooperate. When you're trying to snap the picture and then you squeak the toy for them to look at you, they don't stay sitting and look at you. They get up and walk to you.
They're like, "Ooh, I'll take that."
So it's a moving target that you're trying to take pictures of. So
trying to catch lightning in a bottle, basically.
it is, and it's funny because there's sometimes you just get that one perfect photo and you're like, wow, how did I do that? I'm going to try that again. And it doesn't work on the next shot. It doesn't work on this shot. But these are the photos. So when Polly came to us, Polly looked like that.
Okay.
And then she got a lot chunkier. And then that's me actually having to hold her because every time you squeak the toy, she would take off to the toy. So
she looks like a barrel of fun.
These few photos took us 45 minutes.
That's funny. That's a great one, the one at the end. That's my favorite one.
So, and we have...
That dog looks adorable, by the way. I
She
can't
is.
imagine... I feel like that dog would be like some single dude's companion. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You get the guy who likes to go camping and do all that and has his dog with him at his side everywhere he goes.
There's Sunflower.
That dog could be easily one of those for somebody,
She's sweet.
Yes. Yep, that dog looks like it would. And to be honest, that's the type of dog that once you've earned its trust will probably die for you. You know what I'm saying?
She's wonderful.
Yep, that
she's
dog.
She's sweet. She's beautiful. She's happy. I can't say enough good things about Sunflower because there's not enough words to say. I don't understand why she's been with us for so long.
Yeah, it's just one of these things. It's like, how does this one slip through the cracks? So if someone's looking for a good family dog that, quite frankly, it's a dog with some energy, and you're going to have to, address that.
She does like to play ball.
A loyal, loving dog. Come see Sunflower. She's institutionalized. She's been there 18 months, and so you're probably going to have to you broaden her world, and she might be a little apprehensive when she gets in your environment. But once you get her comfortable and work with her and love on her and train her and all that,
she adapts.
You're going to have the best friend in the world.
And for her to not be going crazy after 18 months.
Yeah, I could just tell she's one of those, just by looking and seeing her face and everything, she's one of those dogs that once you bond with her, she's going to go to the nth degree. It's going to be the, Lassie, Rin Tin Tin, that dog that just is part of the family. And it's a shame that it's been 2 years since that dog's, or almost 2 years, since that dog's, called that shelter home. So let's find a home for Sunflower. Hopefully next time we see you, somebody adopts this dog.
Yes, please.
Yeah. We got about 2 minutes if you can squeeze whatever else we got to get in there.
Well, we still have Xena. We have Jax. We have Polly, the one I showed you in the Santa Claus hat. We have Jose. Those are the majority of our long-timers that have been there over 6 months.
So all of these need a home. Every single one does, even the ones that have been there a week. But the longer they're
long-termers, and
the longer they're there, the worse off it is for the pet.
It is.
I don't care.
And
they treat them very well. But it's not an environment for family dogs and cats. It's just not. It's a place to store them till we find them. Those places.
We can do our best, but at the end of the day, being inside a home with a loving family is what's best for them.
Absolutely.
They're not running the streets. They're not out in the elements. They're getting meals regularly. If they're sick, they're getting taken care of, but it's not a home.
Providing so much enrichment for you and your family. Some of the coolest memories, even with my wife and I, in our memories, we, a lot of them involve some dumb things with the cats, it's just that.
They do.
Yeah, it's just how it is. And it's funny. Matter of fact, I gotta get to. I just haven't had the gumption to do it yet. I got to clean up my Hannah a little bit. She was being ornery with the laxatone, so I did the nose, but I missed and got her like up here. stuck up in there, and she got most of it, but there's this little thing in there, and I can't get her still enough to get it off of her, because as soon as I start messing with it, she gets mad. But
just have her sister lick it off.
I know, but she won't be that patient either. But yeah, it was kind of. At one point, it was a strand that hung out. She looked like a unicorn around. I tried to get it. She wouldn't let me.
She's like, nope, you screwed up.
Yeah, but maybe today. Very good. RoswellHumane.org is the website. Go there 24/7. Like you said, it is a little bit under construction, so if it gets a little cattywampus, be patient. But all the pets that are available for adoption and call the shelter home right now are there. If you see not available next to them, it's because of quarantine, because they're trying to make weight or waiting on some shots or something like that. Thrift store, which is now open here in about 3 minutes, will be open. And today's the new stuff day, so every Wednesday at 10 a.m. If you want to get in first dibs on the newly added stuff to the thrift store, today's that day to do that. Every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Be warned, you're not the only one. There's going to be people waiting.
There's already a line outside. I can pull up the camera and show you.
Yeah.
They're way outside.
And then, real quick, give out the shelter hours and the
shelter hours are 10 to 12 and then 1 to 4:30, and that's Tuesday through Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thrift store is 10 to 4:30 Wednesday through Saturday.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate
Thank
the
you
visit.
very much.
And hopefully we'll find a home for our long residing friends there. So,
yes.
Good deal. All right, quick news and break before we go.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. The New Mexico Department of Health's medical cannabis program announcing anxiety disorder is now added to the program's list of qualifying conditions for enrollment. A petition requesting anxiety disorder be added as a qualifying condition was submitted for consideration at the board's meeting earlier in 2022. The board, sure enough, voted unanimously to support the recommendation. Anxiety disorder is the first new qualifying condition added since the middle of 2019. Meanwhile, the city of Roswell is considering 2 more marijuana retail shop locations. Both sites have received initial approval for their permits. The first involves the construction of a UFO-shaped building called Hangar 84 at 3500 South Main Street. The second site is proposed for 737 North Main Street. That's the old A&W restaurant. That company also operates a large growing business out on East Hobson Road. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Hey, we're still backtracking a little bit of telling you about the all-state selections for football, just in case there's a lull in the schedule or scores aren't reported. But this morning, we would like to congratulate the guys that were selected all-state in Class 3A from our area. Dexter had a lot, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that were selected as honorable mention. Most of them were underclassmen. Tanner Briscoe, though, was a senior pick at defensive end. Yareem Delgado, sophomore pick on the defensive line. Diego Munoz, sophomore inside linebacker. Hector Ramirez, freshman offensive line. Kane George, a sophomore running back. And Omar Loya, picked as a sophomore wide receiver, all-state for Class 3A. And a couple guys from NMMI. Juan Badillo is senior quarterback, and Gabriel Richardson, junior offensive lineman. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Reconvenes for a second day of voting to elect a new speaker. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has this update from the Capitol.
John, at this hour, the House comes back for a 4th vote to see if Republican leader Kevin McCarthy has enough support to become Speaker. McCarthy expressed optimism about winning the gavel Tuesday night as he emerged from meetings with allied members following the failed ballots, floating the possibility of winning the post with fewer than 218 votes. McCarthy said, "You're sitting at 202 votes, so you need technically just 11 more votes to win." The House Speaker is elected by a majority of all those voting for a specific Speaker candidate. Those voting present and those who are absent do not count toward that total, lowering the threshold. Back to you, John.
Meanwhile, President Biden says the whole world is watching as Republicans struggle to elect a House Speaker.
I just think it's a little embarrassing